Hello,
Hey,
Santi. Hello.
yes, I'm still here. Yeah, hi.
Hello. We're actually live right
Did
now.
this?
Welcome to everyone.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Welcome to everyone. I'm sorry for all of the delays tonight, but I've been on the roads. I have a 2 hour drive from my family home to my apartment, and sometimes 2 hours becomes 2.5 hours. So sorry about that. Santi's actually been ready here throughout the whole evening, I'm sure.
Not really. I've been ready for like 20 minutes,
Okay, well, yeah.
which is more than you were.
It's more than me, absolutely. Do you have the stream on like your phone or something so you can take a look at yourself?
Not yet,
Not
but I
yet.
will right now,
Uh
actually.
huh. So
I'm not that vain.
no, no, no. What's the point of today's stream, Santi? Can you fill us in?
Good question.
I know, right?
Uh, no, let's see. The point of today's stream is I went to the Madrid pre-party last Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
and my opinions on a couple of songs changed with the lives. I think pretty much all of them in good. So
All of them were was positive. Or what do you mean?
I think so. Well, other than one story that I'll go back on later, but
Hmm.
um,
Interesting.
yeah.
I have not kept up with a single one of them. Um,
Hmm.
so I'm very much in the dark. I'm actually just gonna bump your volume up because I think you're a bit low, maybe. Can you
Check out this
just
mug,
can
by
you
the way.
just like
Uh-huh.
what should we do as a test? Can you
Should I just be speaking, or should I
oh,
try speaking Swedish? Give me something to say.
you
Actually, I'm
can
going to look up
no, I think
a Wikipedia article
the test is
for
over. I
something.
think everything's good. So good.
Dang.
Yes. Anyway, welcome to everyone. We have 42 people watching right now, so welcome everyone. You're here to basically listen to me not being able to say much, and Santi being able to say what he thinks about the potential, I guess, from Eurovision songs this year. Because I can say which ones I like, but I can't really tell much about how they were at the pre-party because I haven't looked at anything really.
But we will end up talking about what we think of the songs and what we think of each song's chances and what we
Yeah.
prefer. Because I've been avoiding looking at your reviews to keep
Mm-hmm.
this a surprise for me, discovering your opinions.
Well, people usually
Not at
say
all because I didn't have time, but
well, people usually say that my prediction is or my taste is very predictable, so maybe you won't be so surprised.
kind of.
Yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
did also watch your top 10 video, so I do know that.
What? You mean the one
I
that I
did watch your
posted?
top 10
Well,
video.
then you already
Yes,
know my opinions. So,
sort
yes,
of.
sort of, yes.
I forgot most of them.
I don't know anything that you like, except a few, I guess. But I think
Hmm.
mainly where we should just start is basically you telling us how the Madrid pre-party was. Can you
Hmm.
do that for me?
So, well, it was exciting to say the least. I missed the first few songs because one guy that I knew had drank, yeah,
Had drunk.
glug glug too much, and ended up like Germany had just performed and he fell on the floor. And I was like, well, that's weird because this is not the kind of song that people get like really intense about. And I'm like, oh, actually, he's like falling asleep. And we ended up escorting him out and calling an ambulance. And luckily, there was a doctor, a nurse, and me. Not a doctor yet, but hopefully soon. And so he was in good hands and everything is fine and the guy's safe. But be careful with what you drink, kids. Never drink on an empty stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Alternate alcohol and water. Keep eating throughout the night, and don't be stupid because he missed the whole concert and he was mad at himself after that.
Thank you
So I
for
missed
coming
quite a
to
few
our TED Talk, I
performances.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. So
Uh,
what did you miss?
mhm.
Can you
God, wait,
explain which ones?
I don't remember the running order.
I
Um,
don't have it. Uh, to
let's see.
quote an old
Do you think you
Yugoslavian woman.
can? Do you think? Do you think you can look it up and put it on the stream?
No,
Uh,
because I'm just going off of Eurovision World. Maybe if they performed in the order of country name, then I can tell you the
mhm.
order. But I guess that's not the
Well,
case.
we can just talk about the countries that I did see because I got back right in time for Czechia,
Okay, let's just go for
uh,
them in
which tells you nothing.
Czech. What did Czechia send? Oh yeah, pedestal.
I,
Okay, yeah.
actually, I can find the running order.
No, let's just go through them one by one. I think I'm starting with name. I'm just going like Albania, Armenia, da 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 da. Okay,
Hmm.
good. All right,
Albania is one that I missed
all right.
big
Then we
time.
start there. You missed
Hmm.
Albania. Have you seen the video of it?
Yeah,
I haven't.
of the pre-party or the
Yeah, yeah, from the pre-party.
no, I did not.
Okay. So, chat, welcome to let us know how
Hmm.
Albania looks and sounds at the pre-party. I'm not going to be playing it because of copyright issues, of course. So we're moving on. But Albania, or should we
Hmm.
just talk generally? What are your feelings about Albania this year?
My feelings about Albania, there's not many of them. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Oh
it's kind
well.
of it's like let's say you have a friend who, not naming names or thinking of anyone in particular, but has a drinking problem, and that friend tells you, "I'm getting better, I'm getting back in control," and then like for a while you think that, oh, actually, yeah, they are doing better, and then they relapse back into it. That's Albania with the revamps into English,
Mm-hmm.
because after the whole era of like 2016, 2017 was like stop. And then there was a moment where they were sending songs in Albanian, they were qualifying consistently. You're
Yep.
like, okay, yeah, you found it.
Mm-hmm.
Stumbled a bit with Secret, then like seemed to be getting back on their feet, and now
Yeah.
we're
Yeah. It seems like kind of a misconception that maybe isn't really working to do that, but they kind of feel adamant to do it anyway. It's quite an
I'm
intriguing.
telling you, it's a relapse.
Maybe something jury related. I can just speculate, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, since they tend to qualify regardless, like they usually do, but they
I
never really
totally.
end up doing with the jury. Well, exception being 2018, I guess, but I mean
Mhm.
that's for other reasons. I didn't really like understand the whole comparison with the drinking problem, but sure, let's go with that.
Like you're
Um,
falling back into things that are obviously bad for them.
yeah, yeah, okay, okay, I
Hmm.
get it, I get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
um, I mean, I have to be honest. Like going through the playlist this year, Albania is usually one song that I kind of forget is there. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's not really down to the song selection or the song on its own. It's just that there are other things that are more interesting about it, and maybe if they kept it in the original language, maybe it would stand out a little bit more. Right now, it feels like maybe it
Mm.
slips through the cracks, but we know that Albania usually has good performances. If we exclude Secret, I guess. I guess
And
that's
then
the one.
there's also the aspect where the ending of
Mm-hmm.
Titan
Mm.
is just very confusing to me. I don't really know what it's trying to do.
Mm.
Like it starts to turn into some kind of like upbeat, dancey thing.
Yeah,
It,
it goes double time basically,
yeah,
like a proper synth pop kind of song, which was obviously not
yeah,
there
and it's
when
like
they had it in Festival You Can Guess. But
and it doesn't make sense either in the context of the song. There's nothing that really prepares you for it, and then when it finishes, it's not like, oh, that was a cool development. It's just like, where did this come from?
yeah, it is a bit unexpected. I kind of liked it the first time I heard it, though. I have to be honest. I thought it was like a cool switch up, but exactly like Alipan has just said in the chat, that it is unfair for the Albanian voters to change the song that they voted on, and that's kind of the case, really, because they obviously voted for the original Albanian kind of like more authentic sounding song. I think now they polished it up into a pop song. Would they have voted for that in their national final? Who knows?
In 2015, didn't they like completely change the song? Like not just a revamp, but a whole new song.
I remember there was some stuff about the song in 2015, but I can't tell you any details about it. Honestly,
Yeah, me
it's
neither. I
too
was a
too long.
baby.
You were a baby, and I wasn't interested.
Yeah.
Basically. All right. It seems like people are not really liking Albania in the chat either. So, yeah.
I got
Uh,
a question from Apollo asking if people really talked a lot during ballads.
hmm?
Um, like someone in the chat asked if people were talking a lot during ballads.
Yep.
Kinda, but like people were talking a lot during most
Mm-hmm.
songs.
was just more audible during
Other than
ballads, I guess.
yeah, obviously because it's a calmer
Yeah, yeah.
ambient. I mean, it wasn't a place to like sit down and appreciate the music. No, most of the people there were drunk in some
Hmm.
way,
Yeah.
but not to the point of the ambulance, thankfully.
Not for everyone anyway.
There wouldn't have been enough ambulances in Madrid then.
Mm. Oh well, it's interesting enough. I think we'll move on from Albania.
Hmm.
There's not really a lot to say yet, I think, about Albania. I think I need to see it on
Yeah,
Eurovision, like to see the whole concept that they're gonna have actually with the performance.
I'm
Because
kind of scared
no, but with
of what
Albania,
they
you
can
always
have.
with Albania you always have
Yeah.
such a stark contrast to their performance in
How
the
do they
national
do it?
final.
No, wait. How do they do the eagle? Is it like this?
Something like that. I haven't tried doing it. I find rare opportunities
Mm.
to do the Albanian symbol in my everyday life.
You haven't scored any winning goals in the World Cup for the
And for
Switzerland team?
Switzerland, no, I haven't. Okay, we're moving on. Armenia is
Missed
next on the
opportunity.
list here,
Uh-huh.
and I guess Armenia is kind of a crowd pleaser in those settings that you went
Oh
to.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the one I want to talk about the most,
All right,
honestly,
shoot.
because I think I had it like 16th or so before the show because I was like, I enjoy this, but like it's not much more.
Mhm.
But then you hear this song in a crowd,
Yeah.
and all the motivation is like the and then the crowd repeats them,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
you're in the
It's the call
crowd doing that
response.
repetition.
Yeah.
Hmm. And the people are like doing the dance, like trying to hold their shoulders around,
Mm-hmm.
trying to have an idea what to, and that completely changes everything about it. Like that's where it clicks.
Yep. It feels
Like,
really like a song
and
that
yeah,
you have to be in the moment and right there to really enjoy it to the fullest. Is that going to be an issue in Eurovision possibly?
that's what I'm worried about because obviously on TV it's not as easy to have that sort of thing translate.
Mm.
But then I think of like Treneletur, like Moldova, and
Which
there's
one
that
did you say?
famous video, Treneletur.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know
yeah,
how to
yeah, yeah.
pronounce the T with the
Sudobsi
thingy.
Sedub
That, yeah,
2022. Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah.
I'm sure that's better pronunciation than me.
Probably not.
But there's that video of a university watch along where people just got into like a big conga line or
Mm.
whatever, and we're all standing up and partying.
Mm.
I think Armenia has that kind of potential for sure,
Yeah, I could see that.
but it depends on how they translate it. But yeah, I'm actually really excited to see how they stage it, what they do about it, and then like on top of really enjoying just the message of the song. I don't know if you know the lyrics or if you
It,
check them.
to me, it sounds like they're repeating the same la 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 hook 50
Well,
times.
yes, but like
Yes.
there's two verses.
Okay, okay.
Wait,
Fill me in.
uh-huh. It's like I can't remember the exact things she says, but it's something like, they're telling me like behave, like be a nice girl, like cover up or open up more, do this or do that. I'm like,
Mm,
shut up, let me be alone.
mm,
So it's I saw that apparently like some amount of Armenian old guys and boomers in general were a bit angry at the song. They're like, "Oh, but this is so annoying!" Like blah blah. She should know her place, etc.
mm,
And she just doesn't care.
mm,
And I think there's something really beautiful in using a very traditional sound and aesthetic and clothing and stuff
mm.
to counteract what's also in theory traditional. Like the values conservative stuff and etc. And that kind of contrast because I think it's one of the best ways to say that traditions and cultures are about like life and people and joy and etc. And it's not about rigid dogmas or orders or things that should be lived as oppressive. I don't know if that makes sense the way I said it.
I think it does. I mean, it's
Hmm.
certainly kind of uh, further explains the purpose behind it. I just hope that that kind of be um, like obviously I wouldn't know this context without you telling me it, and maybe that's a bit difficult to actually get to get through the screen when you perform it. I
Yeah,
think most people would just see it as kind of like the Moldova 2022 comparison. It's just fun party. The
which is
deeper
fine
meaning,
as well.
yeah,
It kind of is that.
it's fine, but the deeper meaning might not really come across. It's just kind of like an Easter egg for us, I guess,
Yeah.
potentially. Yeah. But interesting to see that it's that it was actually like, because obviously a song that is so reliant on being a crowd pleaser, like when you see it live, could also fall flat if it's not performed with like enough charisma maybe, or enough energy, or maybe it's not vocally stable. But it seems like from your experience that
Yeah, yeah.
that it ticked all the boxes basically.
They can definitely be trusted. Maybe vocal stability,
Mm.
which to be fair, it's not like I had the best audio
No,
quality.
you rarely
or
do at
or
these
if like
things.
they had
No.
the best audio quality, but like I think I heard a bit of shakiness in some of
Mm.
the vocals,
Mm.
but it was more than compensated by just the general energy.
Mm.
I mean, if we're continuing the Moldova comparison, nobody there was praising his vocals, right?
Well, no, obviously not. But I mean,
But they did the job. They
they
were
did
more
the
than enough.
job, yeah, absolutely, and they
Hmm.
know how to play with the audience, basically.
Yeah.
And I get the vibe, like just from watching the music video, I get that they know how to do that as well. But it's also nice to see that they can do it live, because that's always a worry, you know. Some artists can put on the face during a music video, but then when they come live, maybe they shrink a little bit. I'm
Whereas in
thinking
this
a
case,
little.
it's the opposite.
It's the opposite. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's really nice. We'll see if I get won over by it, but because right now this isn't a song that I'm personally returning to at all. But maybe I will when I see it. Well, it would be
I had
better
a
if I see
moment
it
like,
in the flesh, but
yeah,
yeah, that's probably not happening.
I think like 2 or 3 days after the pre-party,
Mm.
I was listening to just La Niva's music in general, like
Yep.
beyond just Jacko, and like I kept replaying Jacko like 5 or 6 times in a row, and I'm the kind of person who never replays the same song.
Hmm.
So it's very rare to have one particular song that I want to replay. And maybe
Yes.
because like it's quite short, it's 2 minutes and a half. A
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
it is the same la 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 melody, like repeating.
That becomes some kind
So
of
maybe I guess
addictive part of it.
it's easier to loop. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I get that. I get that.
but that's definitely a strength,
Mm.
the staying power that it will
That's
have.
obviously me with Estonia, because that's the song that I repeat over and over again.
Yeah.
Should we move on to "We Will Rave," which looks very, what do we say, like dressed up in this image? I don't know if you can see the screen that we have during
Wait,
the
let me
stream,
go back.
but
It's
there's
it's a little delayed, but I should be able to
yeah,
see
but you can
it.
the image is completely still.
Oh,
She looks like she's
yeah.
already gotten quite ready for her stage performance clothing anyway. So did you see Austria, or were you away during that one?
No, I did because obviously they kept the crowd pleasers for the end. So the
Okay,
only
yeah,
ones
yeah.
I missed were the less popular songs.
And we already got
I
a
think.
question from Andy for your grading.
Oh,
You can please rate Austria vocally and also visually. So now you know what you have to talk about here.
vocally, I have no clue because everyone around me was screaming.
They were shouting along the lyrics.
So I could not hear a thing. You know as much as me about her vocals as you would from watching a YouTube video of their pre-party performance.
Uh huh. Okay. Well, then
So
not a lot from that.
I don't have anything to bring to that. However,
Visually.
they were solid. The
Mm-hmm.
the vocals were solid. Like in the videos I heard and recordings of people who were further in the front than me,
Mm-hmm.
she sounded quite solid.
Well, that's a good
Oh,
thing.
someone says it did not come across well. Her vocals were not very good. Well, like I said, I have no idea anyway.
Well, visually then,
Mhm.
did they have like a concept with the performance, or was it?
I mean, a concept. Again, I couldn't see much because everyone was jumping, and especially one person in front of me with a flag.
So basically, what we got from this one was that people in the crowd was excited about it. That's basically what we got.
Very.
Very, very.
I would say the most of the night.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm starting to see. I shouldn't be like this, but I'm starting to see a little bit of a pattern, because, of course, this is Spain. I do remember the Benidorm Fest hype around Caliente, and I'm getting, the similar. I haven't seen the performance from the pre-party, but obviously we've seen the music video from Austria. It's certainly appealing to the same audience as a Caliente visually.
Well, neither are to me anyway. But sure.
No, but you see what I'm kind of hinting towards.
Yes, men
Yes.
shirtless, abs.
Yes. And Alipan asks, Santi, how drunk were you at this point? when Austria were
Not
performing?
very.
Not very good.
I
Then
on
we can
I
trust
only
you.
had like actually maybe a little. But
I don't judge.
I got offered a drink by some Slovenian guy who later apparently I found out was in the jury in 2014 for Slovenia.
Ooh, we got the good stuff here. All right, we're not
Yeah,
gonna stay on that.
why
You can
not? Anyway,
you can share the details later. I think so. We're not
I
gonna
don't
go.
have that many.
Well, we can look through the members later on. AJ says that she had a bad part, which was definitely off, and she shouldn't try whatever that was again. But I guess you didn't hear that part then.
No, oh, the belt at the end. Yeah,
There
that
was
was
a belt.
entirely unnoticeable within the crowd. Then in the
Okay.
videos I saw it, and I was like, yeah, maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it true that
But
everyone was recording with their phones during the whole show?
a lot of people.
Hmm.
It also depends. I mean, was kind of this system of like if one person loves the song and another doesn't, then the person who doesn't will record for the one who does, and
Yeah,
vice
yeah,
versa, so that it's not everyone with their phone at the same time. But
but
just
still,
generally, there were a lot of phones around.
yeah, yeah. I can imagine. Were
What I
you
can
on your
say about
phone?
Austria, I mean, only for some of them, not
Only for
that
some of
much.
them.
Because you asked me for two videos actually.
Uh, yeah. After you
Mhm.
took them, didn't I?
No, you asked
Oh
them
no!
before.
Wait. Oh wait, I can't look up the history because then I share our private
Uh-uh.
conversations. So that's not it's no good. Is there anything else you want to say about Austria?
I would say that honestly, she's probably like we all think about stuff like Dance Alone and Halo
Mm-hmm.
and songs and Light Me Up and songs that just crashed and burned on their live.
Yep.
I think this, I mean, if they go overly ambitious, it could very well crash and burn.
Like Sick
But if
It.
they stay like, yeah, for example,
Prime example.
but but if they stay relatively safe and don't like exaggerate what they're trying to do, like don't try and make Kelly do cartwheels every 5 seconds with a microphone in her hand, like which I'm worried they might try to do that
Mm.
because apparently, I think was it about Austria or someone else where like something leaked that said all 3 minutes will be a dance break.
I've read this as well, but I'm not sure if it was Austria, but it
Yeah.
might have been. Honestly, I can't really think of what else it would have been. I mean,
Well, if it is
Malta is
Austria,
kind of.
then no.
We've already seen that Malta is a little bit like that, I guess. There's a lot of dancing
Yeah,
in
but
that one.
she's more capable of
Absolutely. I will see.
singing and dancing at the same time.
I have a grandma saying she's a dancer turned singer. You can't expect much from her vocals. I wouldn't know, but
Well, good thing half the song is pre-recorded vocal anyway.
I mean, we have a lot of songs these days that the vocals are obviously so heavily backed up by the backing track that you don't really need to stand out that much. It was
Cyprus
about
last year.
Austria. Yeah, Cyprus last year. It was apparently about Austria. This with the 3 minute dance break, and Alipan says that it's not dongs anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully Latvia are not going 3 minute dance break. That would. But yeah. All right. Let's see what's up next here. Belgium up next, which is quite the interesting one because this is of course something we haven't.
One of your favorites.
It is. It is absolutely one of my favorites. It's also one of those songs that I feel like could absolutely have this very strong jury potential.
Yeah.
And it's all really gonna come down to how well he sings it live, obviously. So now I'm all ears. What did you make of it?
So this one I could actually hear somewhat. And no, I mean, I knew he could sing already,
Yeah.
but yeah, from what I could hear in there, it was like impeccable. I mean, it was pretty much exactly what you'd expect from him in terms of also just delivery
Mm-hmm.
and kind of I don't know how to say this. It's not like not exactly the tone because I'm not talking about the voice specifically, but is there such a thing as an emotional tone?
Sure.
I guess it's just part of delivery.
Yeah, but sure. No.
The levels of intensity and of
Mhm.
expression in there,
Yeah.
given the circumstances, I found it to be like very much what was needed.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't like blown away by something new, but it was like it's very solid.
Would you
That's
say
how
that
I found it.
it's? Would you say that it was like good as expected, or was it more so? What would you say?
I'd say good as expected,
All right.
but
Did
my
it?
expectations were quite high, so that is a
Yeah.
compliment.
I mean, for a song like this, you need to kind of have high expectations, I would say. I've seen a
And
small
it
little.
needs to be impeccable.
Yeah, it really needs. Um, I've seen a little bit of a clip from this one, like during the final chorus, but hopefully that's not really what it's gonna look like when we have it Eurovision, because it felt like he's going not maybe so much for vocal control the final minute and more just kind of engaging with the audience from the clip that I've seen. Maybe you made
And
something
taking
of
his
that.
shirt off.
Yeah, I haven't paid it. I thought maybe he sang the whole thing without a shirt, but okay.
No, no, he just took it off for the last minute.
All right. We got
He does that.
a question from Andy. What's the ceiling for Belgium in terms of result, in your opinion? I'm not sure if you're talking to me or Santi, Andy, but Santi can answer.
I guess the ceiling for result would be something like, I'd say in the best of scenarios he could get like third, kind of like Austria in 2018 got like
Yeah.
surprise jury win in third place that nobody really expected.
Yeah.
I would say that would be the upper limit. I mean, I don't see it as a winning candidate at all, but like if everything is perfect and juries love Musti and yeah, he could get third.
But you
Though
don't see
I would
the televote
expect,
support, like
and
no,
not really.
no.
It depends if he's like later in running order, has a really memorable stage show. I mean, things could happen that could get a big televote support, but my expectations would rather be like something around ninth on a good day and like 16th on a meh one.
Oh, you think it can be that low, like 16th? But we're pretty.
Do not underestimate Belgium's ability to fuck up their
Okay,
stage
yeah. I
runs.
mean, fair enough. 2018. I mean, technically, he could miss out on the final altogether. But
I don't think he would, because that's the thing. He has like we talked about this sin, but he also has a floor, and I don't think he could really mess up enough to not qualify.
yep.
I don't want to jinx it.
No, let's not. But of course, we need to also. What do you say? I kind of lost my train of thought. Damn. No, but you know, we also have like obviously it could be like we say that no, the televote's probably not going to support it, but there obviously have been supportive towards both ballads and more synth heavy songs. Like you automatically think of Arcade, which maybe people didn't think would be a televote friendly song. Like people
I
were
was gonna
pretty
say
convinced.
Grande Amore.
Well, that's I don't know, because that's kind of I don't know. That's a little bit of world building in there as well, and it kind of flirts with the whole Italian stereotype, I'd say. But if we take a song
Flirts.
like, yeah, or well, it is the Italian stereotype.
That's-
But I mean, if we take an example like Arcade, I would say, like, I don't really compare these two songs, but maybe people were pretty confident that Arcade was going to do very well with the jury vote, and maybe the televote was going to hold it back, but that obviously wasn't the case. So, I mean, is there potential for Belgium to actually have televote support this year? Or you think that's completely off?
I'm not gonna make any predictions until I see how it's gonna look.
Yeah.
I mean, it could, but
Yeah.
I don't see it as very likely.
No.
I mean, it could though, but
Yeah. All right. I'm rooting for it regardless. So yeah, I'm glad to hear.
Thank
say
you
that
from Belgium.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you say that it sounded impeccable where you were at least. That's a positive thing. Should we move on to
questionable?
no. Should we move on to Ring Team Tagidim? I guess that one was at the end as well, because you said they put all of the people pleasers back there. Yeah. So
and that was one of the ones that got the most energy out of.
I can imagine
any songs of the night as well.
Did you hear anything of the song, or was it only people shouting?
No, I did hear, because this time like he learned to hold the microphone a bit closer, so we could actually hear him this time.
All right.
I mean, the vocals were not too different from the video that you know
Yeah,
of
yeah.
his live performance. People were like, he should try and learn how to do them better. I don't think he needs to,
No, it's a.
honestly.
I mean, Kerry had never needed to do it last year, and it still kind of worked.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Yep.
he has a style that doesn't maybe sound academically great, but it does the job
Hmm.
and it fits the vibe. And especially, I can't remember if he had dancers now. I don't think he did. I think he was just him alone on stage.
All right. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. And even that, like um, okay, what was I gonna say? The rhythm of the song,
Hmm.
because it's a song that has like the constant thump in the background. That was he really knows how to use that to get the crowd moving.
Hmm.
Like every pause between a verse and a chorus, and he's like, that kind of stuff.
Uh huh. The Kerry
And the
movement.
little tech, yeah, exactly, and
Hmm.
the little techno dance break moment. Um, what I'm saying is there's a lot of opportunities for engagement.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it
Absolutely.
is a song that works really well in a live show as part of an audience.
Yep.
And contrary to Armenia, I think it's an easier song to
To get
it's
away with.
easier to create that engagement through a screen
Hmm.
compared to Armenia. So
Potentially.
I mean the odds had him as a winner for ages. I'm not sure I would be that optimistic, but I mean winning Televo could definitely happen, for instance.
I think that's definitely possible. I mean, there are
Mm-hmm.
obviously. I think there are a few songs that kind of fight within the same. Um, I wouldn't say that
Yeah.
they're similar to each other, but they have the same kind of general appeal to them, and that could obviously hold them back against each other. But I'd still be pretty confident about its televote chances. However, what I've always felt is that the jury support that this one can get, it's really difficult to tell because sometimes you don't know what the juries are doing really. But
I think sometimes the juries don't know what they are doing.
no, probably not. But I mean, I obviously see that they
Like the
will.
Slovene one who got me a drink.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. I mean, obviously, I think they will have quite a lot of support for him, but maybe that's the what's gonna hold it back from winning the whole thing. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really see.
Like Gadia then.
Yeah, I can't really see them justifying putting Croatia towards the top when you have the more both vocally impressive songs and also maybe the more, in my opinion, well composed songs in the running ahead of this one. This one's there for the fun, it's there for the entertainment,
Yeah,
it's
'cause
there to
what
get
do
the
you think
crowd
about the
going.
composition?
Of Croatia, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, in my complete honest opinion, it's not really groundbreaking. It's based completely on a sample pack, which I find to be always kind of
Uh-huh.
underwhelming. But it's absolutely knows what it wants to do, and that's what I think really elevates the song. However, I don't find the creativity to be really all the way there because you can consider the song to be very creative, but when you base the whole song off of samples and you just put them and layer them on top of each other, it doesn't really feel like I get that vibe of something that's completely new and fresh. Um, and also, I think the production needs a proper rework to actually give more drive and give more clarity to the song. Um,
And I'd
so
say that's the biggest difference between it and Cha Cha Cha.
yeah, in my opinion as well. But I don't think we can discredit Rim Tim Tagedim's
No, not at all. It's a great song.
potential success because I think that will absolutely be the case. It's not second in the running order, or not running order, second in the odds for no reason at all. It's obviously found its way to a lot of people, and as you said, people were going crazy for it at the pre-party, as expected. So obviously Croatia
And
are
the message
optimistic.
is also really nice.
Yeah, I mean obviously Croatia are optimistic for the right reasons. I just hope that it's not going to go overboard and it's going to cause this similar thing to what Sweden and Finland had last year, because we don't need yet another layer of toxicity within the whole thing. Yeah. All right.
I don't think we would end up in that sort of situation because there's no clear uh, duel, I guess. I
Yeah.
mean, people are talking about Switzerland and Croatia, but
Mm.
it's not nearly as
No.
Like last year was those
Last year
two
was
and
those
then the
two, and then
rest.
everything else. Yeah,
But this
absolutely.
time there's like at least a good dozen of songs that are like all
In the mix.
sort
Yeah,
of up there.
yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. Yeah. Um, I always find it so fun to like go on Eurovision World and you see these ratings on all of the songs, like the fan ratings. So we
Yeah.
go from Croatia, they're on their 4.5 stars, to a song on 2.5 stars. Czechia, which is obviously a song that
Hmm.
everyone is very skeptical towards its live performance. Now, how did it
Hmm.
sound in Madrid?
Well, I got back right in time for it.
Perfect.
Uh, so, I mean, I didn't hear, well, right in time. I got back as she had already started.
Okay.
So
So you heard a
I'm
little bit.
from way back in the crowd. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was already better than the national final performance, which is not a high bar.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it was any worse, then I would be very worried.
Yeah, and I would be impressed more than worried almost.
Okay.
But
Okay, fair enough.
I didn't want to shade her like that because I
No.
actually really love the song, especially after the revamp.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe that she can find her footing
Mm-hmm.
and that Czechia can really make something work out of it. Because oddly enough, like there was quite a bit of enthusiasm for this song in the crowd.
Okay.
Like it wasn't being ignored or put aside. And among the batch of songs that were placed at the start, it was definitely the one that got the most attention.
All right. Yep.
So you can already tell that there's something that resonates in there and that it's not quite there yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't write them off. I mean, as things stand now, it would be weird to predict Czechia to qualify.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm writing them off either. You know?
The song could absolutely hit people, and I think it kind of benefits
Hmm.
from this being a televote only setting because I think juries would probably
Yeah.
shrug this one to the side. However,
And
I feel
also
like
because
there
now
need.
you can vote without waiting for the end of the semi, right?
Don't ask me that. I don't know.
Okay.
But what I
Someone in
think,
the chat tell us. Yeah.
yes, what I think could be an issue with this one, for us at least to say something already, is that we have no idea what kind of concept they're going for with the performance, with the staging. Because what they had in their
Yeah.
national final is obviously not going to be what we see in May. And if it is, they're going to finish last with 0 points. Surely. I can't see a different scenario if that's the case. They need a complete rework with everything. And until we see that, it's very difficult to tell where Czechia stands, I'd say. Yeah.
That's ironic given their 2016 entry.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wonderful. No, in semi only after the songs, Jacob says. So that's not the case then, Santi. You were
Okay.
incorrect.
Yeah.
Um,
She's fourth in running order, so that's kind of a handicap.
it is, and she's also, she's fifth, I believe, and she follows up Switzerland, and right after her comes France, which is kind of an issue vocally, I would say. Which absolutely could put her a bit like she needs to really nail it, otherwise people will ask questions when they've just heard Switzerland and France comes up after it. I think.
I remember I see like it might be mean to say, but talking about the genre and then the amount of vocal control,
Mm-hmm.
there was this thing I saw calling her Florence without the machine.
Alright, yeah. I don't really see the well. I mean, I get that it's haha funny, but the Florence and the Machine reference is kind of would have been better if they made music like that.
Maybe like Marina without the diamonds.
Without the diamonds.
Is that close already?
Not really. But you know what we can do? We can move on to a
Uh-huh.
song I'm sure you missed
Wow.
because Denmark. I'm sure that was very early on.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
did I wasn't there for it.
Do we have to talk about it? I'm
Do you want
sure.
to?
Okay, Toypa Cat is in the chat, and I know he's Danish. So, what should we say about Denmark, Santi?
What I can say about Denmark is that the song is incredibly Swedish.
Yes, absolutely.
And yeah, and that's kind of you can do better, Denmark.
Well, I mean, I did watch their national final, And this one honestly
Maybe they
stood out.
couldn't.
I mean, it stood out because of professionalism, I guess. Like it felt very competent, felt very polished, which also meant to me, at least, that it's so incredibly boring. Like there is nothing that excites me about this, and I think that's the most provoking part about it. If you don't have good options in your national final, then send a risk, in my opinion. Um, Obviously, the thing is that if this qualifies, I can see juries for whatever reason just thinking, "Wow, Swedish polished pop music, we gotta vote for this," and that would be the most frustrating thing in the world because it's a song of nothing, in my opinion. Um, and when you look at like, I just see like Melanie Weber, who is a Swedish songwriter who's been in Melody
I
Festival,
don't know her.
written so many songs. Um, like this sounds exactly what I expected her to write, and that's not a good thing. It's worse than her own song in Melody Festival and that she sang. It's worse than she wrote "Move" by the Mamas, for instance. She's
Oh,
written a
yeah.
ton of Melody Festival and songs, which some of them have not qualified from their heats, and this one just fits right in with all of them. It's a sixth place in a Melody Festival and heat, in my opinion. I realize I've never been this much non-filter
You've been so
about any.
aggressive. It's like,
Yeah, sorry, I'm provoked by this because I think it's such a feeble attempt at trying to be professional.
Swedish.
Yeah, uh, I don't know. Is it worse than Gunilla? At least Gunilla would stand out. That would be interesting.
I didn't even hear that song.
Lala
funnily
Gunilla.
enough.
I think you're better off that
I
way.
didn't hear it.
No, it has its fans, but it's like haha funny. It's not, well, yeah.
It's not like genuine. This is a good song. It's just
Well, absolutely
mean.
not. Absolutely not. Yeah,
Lovely.
some people have it as their last place. I have no idea. Feel ashamed to like Sand. You shouldn't feel ashamed to like it. If you like it, go for it. Absolutely. I know it has its fans, and that's perfect because in Eurovision every song needs its fans. Um, I'm just not one of them. Simple.
Is this the
Maybe
part where I say that I actually kind of like it?
yeah, sure, go ahead.
Because it's not a standout.
Hmm.
I mean, it's not something that's gonna hold my attention, but I think it's a nice song. Like I know exactly what you mean by something that's so polished and boring that it annoys you,
Hmm.
but this doesn't go so far as to annoy me.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's just like, I mean, it's something you would hear in H&M changing room, I guess, but not really on the Eurovision stage.
I'm sure I've already
But
heard it at an H&M changing room.
but like, it's fine. I think it's nice, and she has like some amount of conviction when
Oh,
she sings
absolutely.
it.
She's good. I don't find that to be the issue. I think she could elevate a song
Yeah,
that's
but I mean,
actually
she doesn't feel fake,
no.
and I think that's a biggest issue. Like songs that annoy me with how basic they are. A
Yeah.
lot of the time, they annoy me because I don't get a feeling of honesty from there.
Yep.
And in this case, like even if the song itself doesn't have much of any much of a heart, to put it
Yeah.
that way,
Yeah.
like she makes it feel like it does.
The song means more to her than I think
Yeah.
the other way around. Like the song. How do I
Yeah,
put
that's
this?
a good. No, I like.
Like
how you
I
put
think
it.
that she
She
puts
made it
mo-
hers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she likes the song more than the writers do. I think
It's
because
like a cat.
she sees this as her opportunity. While for the songwriters, I get the feeling like this is one of the 5 songs they wrote that week, and they just sent it away. But she embraced it. She
Yeah.
made it her own. So that's kind of the feeling I get, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a cat. Like the cat doesn't really like you or appreciate you, but you really love it.
Mm-hmm. Sure, why not? All right, let's go with that.
I like Toipa saying, "I didn't mean you should talk about Denmark, but thanks for the roast, I guess."
No problem. And right as we talk about sand, a police car just parked outside my apartment block, So
They heard you
they heard my
criticizing like
criticism.
Swedish pop, and they were like, "Nah, not in
Nuh-uh,
this
don't you
country."
dare.
Nej,
All right.
nej. Detta är illegal. I don't know how you can, if that's a word.
It is illegalt. Yeah, yeah.
Illegal.
Not very common, but
Okay.
sure. Um,
I would say
anyway,
forbidden.
I know we just talked about something that provoked me, and I can see what's coming up next on the list. So I'll just shut up for 5 minutes and let you talk about Finland. Please, the floor is yours.
So that was the first song of the night. Honestly, I enjoyed it more than I want to admit that I did.
You just admitted.
Yeah, I know. But see, the thing with Finland that annoys me is that this kind of, I guess, Eurodance, like genre that is self-aware of its own stupidity. It's a genre that I actually like do enjoy, and then the performance detracts from that because it's like they're trying to like the song was already funny in itself. You didn't need to go in there and make a full clown show. This is just too much. But not seeing that show as much. I mean, it was still like running around on stage, but they didn't have the shorts coming down from cables and then shooting. Like it wasn't as ridiculous, and it
But
wasn't.
it will be in May, though. That's the thing.
I mean, I know it will.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy it.
Okay.
Like surprisingly. There's this channel on YouTube called Turbo, who does Eurobeat. He's Finnish, or they're Finnish. Actually, I don't know their gender. And they do Eurobeat covers of songs. And I really love those. And I found that a lot of Finnish artists will like even in UMK, you hear this kind of Eurodance synth sound every year with something or the other. And it feels very authentic to Finland, and I hope this isn't an insult to any Finnish people in the chat.
I'd be insulted.
But it does feel very authentic to Finland. So I don't like it as a joke because I don't find it funny. But as a something, there's a bit of charm to it.
Yeah. How was it received in the like in Madrid, like at the place? Did people buy into the whole thing, and did they get excited, or did people mostly just
no?
Okay.
Most people didn't care. I mean, it was also the first song. People were still arriving.
People realized, oh, Finland's first. We can be a bit late.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I can't really say everything I think about it.
Because you're too angry.
No, yeah. Because like the main thing is just that when you want people to laugh at you, that's when you're not funny anymore. You want people to laugh with you. And that's exactly the opposite of what this song tries to do, I think. They try to go so much over the top that they want people to laugh at just how absurd they are. But that makes them kind of just look like the fools in the situation, in my opinion.
And I mean, they kind of are.
They are, yeah. I mean, they're playing that role. And it's just frustrating mostly, I'd say. In my opinion, anyway.
Especially when you see the other songs that could have been there, but...
Well, yeah. I mean, we just try to have to detach UMK from this song in order to actually find something to enjoy about it, but I don't enjoy it anyway, so... Yeah. It would be my 37th out of 37 songs this year, regardless of it winning UMK or not, surely. I just can't. I get angry. And exactly like Jere just say, Finland lacking behind Estonia and the Netherlands, who do the fun and absurd stuff way better. And yeah, that's the thing. Because they're not trying to be the
even
joke.
Croatia to an extent.
Yeah, I mean, but they're not trying to be the joke. But Finland tried to be the joke, and that's what's kind of just ruins it.
Yeah.
They don't need to embrace them being the joke. They just need to embrace that, oh, we have a funny song, let's make something of it without looking like idiots, basically. feel very unfiltered today, but it's just what it is.
But I like it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Um, I see that we're dropping in views when I speak my mind. So, uh,
The haters
no,
will
I
always
don't
be
think
there.
it's that. Anyway, it's another interesting thing when you go on Eurovision World and you compare when you look at these ratings is that Finland have 3 stars and the song next up, Germany, also has 3 stars. So they're on the same level, I guess. Were you there for Germany?
Yes, because it was the second one, and like I said
Second
at the
song.
end,
Okay.
the drum guy fell down. I was like, oh,
Oh yeah, at the end of Germany. Yeah.
this
Okay.
isn't the kind of song.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So how was the reception to Germany? Did people start arriving by then?
I guess so. I mean, the reception was very.
Non-existent.
Yeah,
That's
I
unfortunate.
don't really know how to put this in a kinder way, but it's just not a lot of reactions, and I can't say there was anything that really grabbed my attention either.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he sang it well. He delivered it like in the national final.
Yep.
It's just there's not much to latch on to, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's just the curse of Germany a lot of the time. I mean, last year was good and deserved to be higher than that. But like, rock stars and Perfect Life and what else did they send about
I
last
don't feel
place?
hate. Well, that didn't even get last place.
Yeah, but at least that had a bit of interesting to it. That's why I didn't get last.
That's up the alley with no rules. That's the same bracket of song. Okay, but no excitement for Germany. I didn't really expect that either. But
Yeah.
I find that to be very unfortunate, honestly, because I think like it wasn't my favorite in their national final this year, and I know a lot of people are upset that the fan favorite didn't win. Um, but I don't think that detracts really anything from the fact that he sings the song really well, and it's just well written all around. I think, and he knows how to perform it.
Hmm.
In my personal just feeling right now, I would say that the juries could get behind it, and I think they should get behind it. The televote
I
probably
mean,
won't, but
I hope they at least like save Germany from being last again.
mm,
Because I mean, genuine. You even have the can of. I forgot the name of that thing. Is it NOC? I forgot how it's spelled.
what do you mean?
Noko? What you're drinking?
This? Yes, no go.
Yes, that. The Swedish. Anyway, sorry.
What's that about?
You can. No, nothing. I just saw it and I remembered it.
Aha, okay, yes.
What
Not
was it?
sponsored.
Germany. No, but they should sponsor you at this
Yes,
point.
they should.
But regarding Germany, I mean, juries should at least save them from last place because um, struggling to find arguments. See, my issue with Germany really is that it's a kind of song that relies on, power and strength and
Hmm.
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And then I listen to it and I watch it and I don't get any of that.
Hmm.
So it's like if you have a soft track like Rockstars that leaves a very soft impression, at least it fits
Hmm.
thematically. In this case, I can't really get over the discrepancy there between something that should be a show of strength and of power, and like he has the voice for it.
Yep.
It's just I think that the song doesn't back up his vocals,
Hmm. All right.
and I don't know if I would call it good songwriting, just because thematically it contradicts itself. Like maybe it's a good song on paper, but because of that theme of power, then I think it was a failed mission
All
the
right.
way it was written.
Yep.
Do you get what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You don't really feel like the intensity, I guess, that the track actually wants to
Yeah.
have. Yeah. I get that.
It has a very German intensity, which means very like restrained and controlled, and as it should be, and like
Mm-hmm.
neatly and everything in order. And sind wir closer to korrekt, aber ja, you know,
Jawohl, das
it
klingt gut.
doesn't. yeah,
Okay.
it doesn't free up at any point.
No.
Even when he goes like run from this science, it still feels restrained
Hmm.
to me.
I get it. I get it. Even though I disagree. But
Yeah.
I completely see it because I mean that's probably what a lot of people really feel about it. I mean it's joked around a lot being just the average song and that it doesn't stand out in any regard. And a lot of people seem to be in agreement that the song is fine, but that's all it is. And I completely
Yeah.
understand that. The fact that I enjoy it more than others, I mean I understand why people don't enjoy it, and maybe that could just be me. But I would honestly expect some slight jury support for just the ambition of being very accessible and actually sounding very
Yeah.
polished. Just like I would if Denmark somehow makes it to the final, I would expect Denmark to get jury support because it sounds
And you
contemporary, it
wouldn't
sounds
like it. Yeah.
relevant. In Denmark's case, I wouldn't like it. In Germany's, I would because I find there to be a lot more character within that song. It doesn't feel songwriting camp to me. It feels
Yeah.
like there's a purpose behind it. It feels like they've actually done something playful with the whole arrangement as well. There's like an interchanging instrumental input throughout the song. Like there are new things coming in throughout the song, which I find very neat.
Yeah.
And I think those kind of things should be pointed out when they happen.
Yeah, like it does try some things.
Yes, it does. Yeah, but then the fact that maybe the general impression and punch that the song has isn't really coming across, and I completely get that.
But
And
they tried.
maybe I'm a bit lenient on Germany as well because I don't really enjoy this year that much. So that's why Germany ends up higher in my ranking than for a lot of other
Okay.
people. That could be the
Whereas
case.
for me, I think this is one of the strongest years in general.
I've seen a lot of people
I
say
mean,
that. That's
yeah,
the
I found a
thing.
lot of stuff. The times are changing. You're being left behind.
Yeah, I'm just becoming an old, bitter. Yeah, I'm not gonna say any
Thomas
characteristics.
Gesson.
I'm Thomas Gesson. No, but
The
I
G in Gesson stands for Groot.
yes, yes. No, but I'm feeling a bit out of the loop this year. I guess I don't know. But there's a lot of focus on songs being, I think, more wacky this year than normal.
Because televote qualifiers. I think that's
Yeah, probably. Yeah. All
maybe an
right.
unfortunate side effect of that decision.
It could be. It could be. 20. Andy says 2022 is the strongest year of the decade for me so far, and I completely agree. I love 2022.
Really?
Yeah, that
I love
I thought
2021 far more.
2021 is good as well, but 2022 is the one for me. There was just so many good songs that year. I think, and
Look at
the
who I
main
have
thing.
here.
Very nice. Thank you. The main
Do you know
thing.
it?
No. Can I just finish my point here?
No.
No. Okay. Fine. I'll shut up. Beautiful.
Finish
No,
it.
I'm gonna finish it anyway. Yeah, 2022. The main thing for me, even though I absolutely loved Slovenia that year, disco, I thought that almost every song that like I liked every song that qualified. I feel like the final of 2022 was just almost perfect to me. I just wanted Slovenia in there, and then I would have just loved that year to bits. Maybe that was the main thing. Like 2023, I'm still obviously annoyed that Latvia didn't make it, and I will always be annoyed at that. So and this year I just don't click with the songs, I guess. DN makes an interesting point here. I think the amount of low quality songs is much less than usual, but the peak is not that high as previous year. That's why we have an open playing field for the win as well, which could be the case. Hello, La Presse.
That is Shaman. Congrats, Groot's grandma.
All right, we kind of lost track. I'll
Yeah.
give you Iceland. You can talk about that a
So,
little bit. That's.
do I want to? Okay.
Do you feel
But
it
I did.
coming?
How can I say this? I just made public the video with my ranking because I finished adding the comments in the meantime, and Iceland is my dead last
Aww.
because it's just so.
I have a feeling it's gonna be dead last in a lot of people's rankings.
You know, like the Eurovision movie, where they had like a handful of what would be Eurovision songs, and they were really like cartoonish parodies of what a Eurovision song sounds like.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen
That's
it,
what
but
I.
I'll trust you.
Well, yeah. But that's what Iceland sounds to me.
I get it. I get it.
I
I
mean,
like it feels very formulaic.
how can I say that her song from 14 years ago sounds more modern than this one?
Because it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, they're really like I have nothing to say about Iceland, but I of course want to know how was the reception in Madrid.
Actually, people kind of liked it.
Okay, good. Then maybe
I
it's a
mean,
people pleaser in the moment.
yeah, I mean, some people are talking about like her meme factor, I
Mm.
guess,
Yep.
uh, which someone said Iceland is a tampon commercial song.
Yeah. Well, we don't need to dwell on that. Just finish your thought.
Yeah, sorry, I completely.
Yeah.
What was I thinking? Yeah, actually, people kind of were enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you turn your brain off and you're drunk, then it's an enjoyable time. But I don't want to be drunk to enjoy something.
Well. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll just move on. Iceland's not qualifying anyway, is it? Or do you think so? No. Good. All right. Ireland then. This is an interesting one, of course, because well, it's not. It's very difficult to take something out of it from the pre-party as well, because I think everything is just building up towards what are we gonna see at Eurovision. They need to go expensive with the staging, I think, because this could be like this kind of world-building entry altogether. But at the pre-party, like, what kind of impression do you get from there?
So Ireland had this very funny thing where it's very clear how some amount of people, a minority in the room, like really love Ireland, me among them.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of people didn't like it or like didn't click with it. But so within the crowds, you had like quite a few people who were super excited about it,
Mm-hmm.
surrounded by people who were like,
A lot of facial expressions I see.
yeah, I mean, it got a reaction out of everyone.
Mm.
And I mean, I enjoyed the hell out of it, especially the part, the end of it right after she says blue, and like that breakdown. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I
I'm
mean,
not sure
my
which part
neck
of the
was
song
hurting.
you're feeling here. I'm not sure what the.
You know, right at the end, before like the metal segment,
Yeah, yeah.
like before all the screams and stuff, where she's
Mm-hmm.
just speaking softly and she goes, "Doomsday blue,"
Okay, like
and
the
then just
pausing kind
devolves
of.
into electric
Yeah,
guitars.
yeah. Okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
got it.
and my neck was hurting the next day, and I think it's because that moment I just went like that.
Headbanging.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like didn't unplanned, very but and then her screams.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that a lot of people don't like that kind of those kinds of screams, like that metal
Mm-hmm.
uh, singing style. It really is my kind of thing. I mean, I love that stuff,
Yeah, we know Hatari
and
is your your go-to.
all-time favorite, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she did it like really loud and clearly. Like she clearly. Sorry, I keep saying she.
I've noticed.
They clearly
I wasn't trying
should have
to
should have
interrupt you.
corrected me.
Okay,
They
sorry. I'll do that next time. Mm-hmm.
they clearly know how to do it.
Yep. I think that became very evident during the performance in Ireland as well. But everything is just so poor quality in their national final that it's very difficult to make out. But I'm just like counting down the days until I get to see the first kind of rehearsal images of them, because that's the moment where I feel like how much have they actually believed in this? How much do Ireland like? How much faith do Ireland put in them? And I really hope it's a lot, because if you can really create an own world with this kind of song, that would be ideal. And I think if you can really like, if you have a complete vision with what you want to do with this, that could be one of those moments where I feel like this could go from something that's probably not gonna connect with people to something that will just floor people at home. Even though they might not like the song, they might connect with the performance if they can actually create a whole atmosphere behind it. And that's
And
what I
Ireland
just
did that in 2018.
2018. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
Exactly that.
absolutely. And then they they tried to do it in 2021, and
That
well,
was Max, right?
yes,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
and that didn't work out.
Have we gotten to know who's gonna be staging Doomsday Blue? Because I mean, some of the songs have obviously gotten their stage directors released, so someone in the chat might be able to fill us in on that one, because that could be interesting.
I don't think I know about Ireland specifically. I
No.
mean, what I do know is that they obviously have a music video that's already very much. Uh, I mean, you kept talking about world building.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the key words here. It's really some kind of Alice in Wonderland esque kind of
Yeah.
half dream, half nightmare. There's a whole theme of witches and satanic rituals and
Absolutely. I think they need
like
to
even old
visualize
old
that.
Shakespeare novels. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did like. I mean, again, the Late Late Show is a very poor quality
Yeah.
stage,
Yeah. We don't
but they
get
already
anything
had
from
some
there.
sort of idea with those sort of long nail monsters,
Absolutely. There
and
was
if
something
they
to it.
can polish it, yeah. So I would say Bambi Thug definitely have an idea of where they're going at.
Yep.
They have a song that has an identity. They know how to perform it.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just a matter of, like you said, presenting it in a way that it can connect to people.
Yep.
Because we can even see on this chat how some people are like, this is amazing, etc. And then someone just, she looks really weird and they're scary. So,
We have as well, which
yeah.
is a quite an interesting point. It's from Miguel. It's like Serbia 2023, but without the diaspora voting,
Mm.
which means non-qualify. And it's similar because of the
Mm,
Serbia.
uh-huh.
Let me finish. Because of
Yeah.
Serbia's Samo Mrs. Spava just had that identity to the performance as well. It was a kind of storytelling behind it. It wasn't only the song, because the song could definitely be kind of a deal breaker. When you hear it in studio cut, you might be you might not like it and you might love it, but I think the visual representation that it had from its performance really made it very clear what Luke Black was going for and the whole song was going for. And that kind of made it easier and more accessible, I think. And that's what I feel about this song as well. Okay, I'm done.
And I love both. And I absolutely love both. So,
Yeah. Um, I think Samo Mrs. Pava had a much more clear um, vision about its actual music composition, because I think Samo Mrs. Pava also had a lot of just playfulness to the actual arrangement, and the production was honestly top. Like honestly, probably a 10 out of 10 in the production area. While I don't think that Ireland particularly has that, um, but if Ireland
but
can
they
match
have
some,
better vocals.
I mean, I'm not so convinced, because Sama Mrs. Pava's vocal style was what kind of made the song work as well, in my opinion.
Oh,
I
I loved it
Yeah, because he
for
doesn't
sure.
need to sing it like in a show-offy kind of way. That worked for it. I love how we're just kind of going on a little bit of a detour here into last year, but
That's the point of we make tangents.
yeah, yeah. That's why we've already streamed for one over an hour, and we're on the letter I. Let's move on. Italy, obviously, like Italy is among the favorites this year, as they should be, and as they always are, of course. But we've seen La Noia in Sanremo being amazing. How was it in Madrid?
Amazing.
Okay, fair enough. Do we want to elaborate on anything here, or do we
I
just
mean,
leave Italy where it
people
is?
loved it,
Yeah,
but I mean, Spaniards love Italy to begin with,
fair enough.
and
They get an
I mean,
advantage.
I mean, the whole like Spanish ESC bubble watches Sanremo and like
Mm,
listens to the song. Like some Sanremo songs make it mainstream in Spain.
yep.
So, and it's like the first time an Italian artist shows up to a pre-party, I think.
Oh, really? Wow.
Something like that, because they usually like never go.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the time of Brividi, they barely showed up to Eurovision itself, so you can
Well,
imagine.
yeah. Brividi was. Uh,
Legendary.
let's not remember. Let's move on. It's
Yeah,
just like Andy says. It's
but
mango season now.
mhm,
Let's focus on that.
I want mangoes now. But yeah, honestly, I didn't get why people were talking about Italy as a potential winner,
Mm-hmm.
but after I really get it actually.
Yep.
Like maybe second in one category, third in another, and then
Yeah.
overall winner. I mean, I can definitely see that happening. I don't think Italy is coming with anything less than a. I was gonna say in a top five,
Top
maybe.
five, I'm sure. That
Yeah,
seems pretty safe to bet right now.
like
But we said that
worst
in
case
20.
scenario, seventh,
Yeah,
I guess.
we said that Italy 2017 was such a clear winner back then, if you remember that year.
Oh
And
yeah.
then it ended up finishing
Hmm.
sixth, even though it kind of played to all of its strengths with the performance as well. Who knows? But I mean, Italy hasn't been outside the top 10 since when? 2014? Has it
Uh,
been that long?
2016.
Oh yeah, 26. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
Francesca Michelin.
yeah. And I mean, probably Fire Mora would have been in the top 10 as well. So let's hope anyway. So obviously they
I
know what they're
pretend
doing.
it's one.
I'm gonna pretend that it won as well, but that's a better way to live, maybe.
Hmm.
Live in that bubble. But yeah, I would be so optimistic about Italy's chances, and obviously they always do well with the televote as well. That shouldn't be overlooked. Because if you think back to last year, Due Vita maybe didn't really feel like, oh, this is the song that the televote are going to go for. But it did very well in the televote as well. It was kind of expected that the
People love
juries would.
Italy,
Yeah, they do. And I mean, rightly so, in my opinion. I love Italy as
and
well.
you do.
Yeah,
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 exactly.
absolutely. But this one absolutely feels more, I would say, televote friendly than a Due Vita did.
Hmm.
And Due Vita still did so very well. Uh,
There's this the composition I think of La Noia
mhm.
is so interesting to me because it's very different. Like Due Vite, Brividi, Fai Rumore are very um
Classy.
they're not they're yeah, that's the thing. They're not very playful or out of the
No.
box. I mean, they do things great and they do interesting things. But like this song, I'm not sure if I told you this already. I put it in the comments anyway that I wrote that it really reminds me of Stromae's composition.
Yep. It's more
Like
dynamic.
the, yeah, that sort of bounce, that
Yep.
sort of and then like contrasting an up and down and pause and then breaks and then like going around.
It's
And
very
the whole
playful.
theme is about also the line, a crown of thorns will be the dress code for my party.
Hmm.
I love it.
Well, I don't speak Italian, and I bet they won't put
Yeah.
subtitles on the screen, or maybe they will. Who knows?
No,
But
but but it still sounds cool.
yeah, yeah, um, yeah. Italy's obviously great, and people loved it at the pre-party, which is a good sign. Obviously, it was revealed earlier this week that she will bring dancers with her, which is kind of an interesting
Mhm.
thing because that's not what maybe we expected because she was obviously alone at San Remo. I guess she was alone at the
Mhm.
pre-party, or
Yeah.
yep. So that's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. And there's
I
five
wonder
of
if they
them as well, I
would
think.
do some kind of I wonder if they would do some kind of theatrical because obviously the song is talking about boredom.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they would have like the dancers play out like some sort of board
Storytelling
scene
or
and trying to find
mm,
entertainment and like then standing up and looking for something and then less sitting back down in the
mm.
bed and the clock is ticking. I feel like there's potential to do that, but at the same time, don't overcomplicate things too much because the
As
song is strong enough on its
yeah,
own.
they don't need it really, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But as long as they don't do Bulgaria 2016, I'm good. When comes a proper Nickelodeon party when people jump out on the
Oh
stage and
yeah.
sing along, that
But I
if
liked
they do
that.
that, I'm just checking out. No way, it's not allowed. Yeah, she didn't need the dancers in Andy's opinion. I agree, but it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Maybe they do this kind of storytelling thing that you're talking about, Santi, and that would be interesting. Alberto also says she does not need the dancers, and Jacob as well. Her charisma and stage presence alone was enough. Yep, yep.
Well,
We'll
everyone
see.
everyone loves her
Yeah,
apparently,
yeah. Well,
rightfully so.
we should move on to Latvia. I'm guessing because it's a slow song, you missed it.
Yeah, actually.
Unfortunate. Um, oh well, I mean, I've already expressed in my video the fact that Latvia is one of my 10 favorite songs this year, which I'm probably the only person on the planet claiming. But obviously, I think among the ballads, this is the one that kind of just melodically works for me, and also I love the atmosphere that it has. and I think that he's a very competent singer and really sells it. If you didn't hear it, of course, live there, but what do you make of the song then? Just from your impressions.
It's very solid. I guess.
It's very solid.
Oh,
Did I get a donation from Rod Morg? Aw.
yep, you did.
This stream had to be live at the same time as the BBC's rebroadcasting of ESC 1874. It's not fair! Thank you, Rod Morg. That's very, very kind.
I wonder who won
in 1874, yeah. Exactly.
God, what happened that year? I think there was some sort of revolution either in France or Catalonia at that point.
I'm not very well versed on
Anyway.
1874, but apparently Rodmorg is. And he's enjoying the rebroadcast from 150 years ago.
If it was 1812, then that would have been Waterloo.
Oh yeah? I'm not very good at...
It is 1812, right?
I don't know. I'm not a history teacher.
Historians,
you know?
yeah. Anyway.
Oh, there the donation pops up on the screen as well. I love the delay on Streamlabs.
Apparently Beethoven won in 1874. Prussia won.
Jacob, I love BAAB winning ESC 1874. Okay. Anyway, thank you, Rodmore. Should we go back to
got this right.
to Latvia?
What were we talking about? Latvia. Yeah.
Your general impression of it.
I mean, it's very solid. I mean, if I want to say it solid is the good way to qualify it. Inoffensive is the less good. Oh, Waterloo was 1815, apparently.
Okay, well, Rodmore, the stat bot coming out here.
Anyway, Latvia doesn't really give me anything to latch on to. And I enjoyed while it's there, and then as soon as it's finished, I forget that it happened.
Yep, I get that.
And like, it's hard to say because also, what's his name? Dons, yeah. Dons like seems like an absolute sweetheart of a person.
Yeah.
Like seems incredibly nice, and does it well. I mean, it's kind of like Germany in the sense that I would want to like it more than I do, but there's.
I understand that. That's completely understandable. I mean, sometimes we really want to like something, but we can't lie to ourselves. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'll give a sneak what do you call it? Promotion to myself, because I obviously make these guitar versions of a bunch of Eurovision songs, like adding a guitar line to them. And to everyone who's interested in that, Latvia is my next one. It's already done and written, so you can keep your eyes on that for anyone who's interested. I'm just love promoting myself here on my own channel. But
yeah, that's the point.
That's the point of it. Yeah, absolutely. People are very confident that Latvia will not qualify. I mean, Latvia didn't qualify last year, which they should have. But I mean, this year they're in not as tough of a semi-final, in my opinion. But since it's televote only... Is this the
time where I say that I think Latvia is a good candidate for last in the semi?
Last place in the semi?
Wait. Which would be really harsh.
Just give me a very quick second here.
A man after midnight.
What if I do this? I've just opened up the Eurovision 2024 on Wikipedia. And let's see. Latvia... well, I mean, that semi-final does have... Well, maybe San Marino gets some points from Spain, actually. So, okay, maybe. Oh, that would really break my heart if Latvia finishes last in the semi-final. No, that can't happen. Nah. I'm not... I don't know. I will live in disbelief until it actually happens. But I mean, Malta did finish last year, and that broke my heart. So this could.
Wait, they did?
Yeah, they did.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, they did. Usually, the worst song never finishes last. Isn't that what we say? Okay. Anyway, we'll move on from Latvia. I've already expressed how much I love it in other videos, so I don't need to go on about that. Lithuania, however, looked at how much do we love it, Santi? Come on, come on. This much, yeah, yeah. This
Like
much,
more. I
more.
don't have I don't have arms wide enough for this.
No one does.
No, but I mean, I'm in love with that song
Mm-hmm.
and with him, but that's another conversation topic.
Well, we're moving
Uh,
on from that part. How was it in Madrid?
no, but incredible. Um,
And the audience thought so too.
I mean, I think there's something you cannot understate how good that bass line is.
Mm-hmm.
You're like
Yeah, it's very addictive.
every time it hits,
Yep.
and it's very. I like it. It's. I think it's quite incredible the way that it goes from something that's so very rhythmic and like boom boom to something that's a bit more wavy.
Yep. It's a very wavy
Uh,
kind of song.
and seamlessly, yeah. I mean, when they go like down, down. I don't know how he does the movement exactly.
Absolutely. It's like a sway
And
from side to side.
yeah,
Yep.
and that kind of flow is not something that's easy to do with a song that starts off with a. I mean, it has the three sections. It has the very like stripped down and whisper in them, or like
Yep.
a fragile voice in the microphone thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then it has the club beat, and then it has the wavy bit,
Yep.
and the little breakdown that's also a club beat at the end. And
The instrumental
I
breakdown
think it's quite
section is really
amazing.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I think it's quite amazing how well they work together.
Alipan would be happy to wave it goodbye. That's. I like the way you expressed that.
Wow.
No, but I mean, the song won't be for everyone, but I think it's obviously very accessible for a lot of people because it will be one of those that gets the crowd going. And obviously, just like you say with this whole bass work, that's very effective, but also these stabs that hit, because that becomes such a very rhythmic, it's very rhythmically intense, and that really is something that will get people invested into it because you very easily get dragged along with that. So I think it's very effective songwriting in that regard. And then obviously they know exactly what they're doing with the presentation on stage because of the lighting, all of the darkness, all of the light show. They know what they're doing with it.
Right, Lithuania are great at this.
They are. They've really become great at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite wonderful to see really how far they've come in Eurovision. From, I mean, if we go back 10 years, they sent Attention. So that just shows kind of the contrast. I mean, it's a song that's also electronic dance music, basically. But this just kind of shows the comparison we have between the two. Jacob sees some jury appeal for Lithuania more than Netherlands or Croatia, for example. I hope that's the case. I hope that's the case. I mean, it's so cleverly written and very accessible as well.
The Lithuanian language also is...
Absolutely, yeah, that's a nice detail.
Because it's a language that already has a wavy characteristic to it.
Like the wavy expression.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, Sentimentai, Monica Liu, the whole performance was like...
That's also very wavy.
That's what I mean. And then there was an interview where Sylvester talked about like the sonority of Luktelk. Like Luktelk.
Yep.
I could whatever. I'm not a linguist, but you know what I mean. It fits so well.
Yep.
I mean, I had this song with Sebi in 2019, which is also one of my favorite Eurovision songs ever. Where I thought that Slovene sounded very much like water, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, sure.
And that gave something really special to Sebi, to its sonority. And Lithuanian also has that sort of quality to it that works. And I don't know what is about the country, but they're like, I compare this a lot to On Fire in the sense of having a very catchy pop song that has a bit of a darker theme, and like you can tell there's a darker thing in there.
Yeah.
You don't exactly know what.
I draw more the parallel to Discotheque, I think they're a bit more of the same vein because of just how heavy the synth work is. I feel like On Fire always was very warm I think I got a lot of warmth from that. I think the darkness was more
Okay.
prominent in discotheque personally,
Mhm.
but yeah,
But in both cases, you can tell there's something. Like it's
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
just a haha party.
Well, no, absolutely not. And
Hmm.
Luktelk is absolutely not haha party. It's just
Hmm.
really like this dark, vibey club banger, really at its core.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
There's a
people
few
will
songs
go
like that going viral at the moment.
from Eurovision.
No, I mean like just in general, well, especially
Ah,
like
yeah,
stuff like
yeah, yeah,
TikTok.
yeah, yeah,
You've got like After Dark or I
yeah.
Like the Way You Kiss Me, like a few songs in that style that all have like a bit of a driving beat. It's like dark pop, and people post. I don't know what they post. I don't have TikTok. I'm not
This is
that
the
young.
this is the kind of song that they put a drowned out reverb version on the
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
on behind clips from Blade Runner 2049. That's like the
Yeah.
uh,
Uh-huh.
Groot on fire
Mhm.
was warm. I didn't even realize, but yeah, sure.
Well, yeah,
Rodborg hasn't
makes
even listened
sense.
to it. Is it any good? Well, if you've heard what
Yes,
me
it
and
is.
Santi have said so far, yeah, we like it. And
Mhm.
Elendil has it as his winner. Nice. It's not my winner, but it's. I forgot where I put it. Hi. Should we move on?
Yeah,
Yep. Let's see. Malta.
makes sense if you're not having TikTok. Malta, I missed.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh. What do you make of it, regardless of the performance at
Um,
pre-party?
it's not my kind of music. It's not really
Mm-hmm.
my style.
Yeah.
She does a great job with it,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah.
Very brief, very
I
underwhelmed.
mean, I mean that's kind of how Malta gets me a lot of years. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
last year I loved them for
Yep.
once, but
I
also in
refuse.
Loop.
I refuse to hear that you group this one into the same category as "I am what I am." Like that.
No, it's not in the same category. I'm not that harsh, but I'm not a fan of Loop, and especially with the revamp, the sound that Loop makes in the chorus
Mm-hmm.
is not a pleasant one for me anyway.
All right.
I mean, I what I do like is like her whole sass and attitude and like
Yep.
doing a flip on stage because why the hell not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
She doesn't hold
I
back.
enjoy, I enjoy the energy
Mm-hmm.
more than I enjoy the song itself.
Yep. Yep. I get it.
And I mean, Malta without juries are always going to have a tough time qualifying. Especially, doesn't
Yeah.
this open the semi?
It is, but I think that could be a good thing for it. Rather open it
Maybe.
than being second, because it's gonna
Yeah.
be like that kind of gut punch of an opener. I think, because of the attitude that she has.
Yeah.
I think that could work. Um,
Okay.
I think. I mean, I'm obviously completely different to you here, Santi, because I've honestly grown to love this song. Really, it's not in my top
Okay.
10 or so, but I'm just like
Yeah.
I feel
That
this.
surprises me from you.
Yeah, but I feel this so much because
Wow.
I feel that attitude and energy that she has. And every time I listen to the song in a studio cut, I feel like they're actually doing everything that I wish they would do with it. They don't hold back. They go all out. They make sure that it's catchy. And even though some people are very underwhelmed or whatever with the revamp, I actually think the revamp elevated it because I think it makes it more accessible. I could see like if you listen to this the first time, you will remember that you've heard it. That's just the way I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And also, you will remember that you've seen it. I would be very optimistic about it, but it's obviously Malta, so it could struggle because of that. But I think it would be very unfair to all of the ambition and all of the effort that they put into this one for them to not be rewarded again. Because last year, same story, was a song that I think was worthy of qualifying, and they got last. And I just think that's very discouraging. I hope it's not going to happen again.
I was asked my opinion about Luxembourg. Should I say it even if it's not a very positive one?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I will let World Theory tell me if they want to hear it, but basically I don't really like the song much.
Hmm.
I can still tell you my thoughts if you want to, but if you would rather not, I won't.
I can tell you my thoughts on it. I think the song is really cool,
Oh,
but
okay, we are doing this
yeah,
then.
why not? I think the song is quite cool. Playful arrangement, great production. It's Stardust, so wouldn't expect anything else. But she's probably the least. No, this. Oh, I feel so unfiltered and I feel so evil. It's evil Groot today,
The
but
shade.
she feels so. I don't want to say unlikable, but I get no contact whatsoever with her. Like when she's performing, she's so stale and bare bones and underwhelming. I think this is a song that wants to be energetic, wants to be captivating, wants to be in your face, and is really playful. I want that. I want to see that as well, and I don't see any of that. She's stiff, exactly like Sajad
Hmm.
says. That's exactly my feeling as well. No, let me know.
Yeah. So my issues aren't well are with the song as well
Mm-hmm.
because I think the song sounds like something you'd find like 2006
Not the production
in
though.
your in no, but like the idea of the song sounds like
Yep.
something you'd see in Eurovision back in the mid 2000s.
Mm.
And then the lyrics are just horribly generic in French as well. So it would be better if I didn't understand that language. And
Should have sang
yeah,
the whole
like you
thing in
said, that
Luxembourgish.
yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
that might have given it some character.
Yeah.
But now it's and also it gets very grating.
Mm.
Like it doesn't have a lot of replayability,
Mm.
if that makes sense. At least not for me.
Yeah, I get
And
that.
it's just very
Did you also hear the revamp? How they slowed down the breakdown?
yeah.
That's a little bit
And
weird, I think.
I'm not a fan of it. I
No, me
think the
neither.
revamp worsened it.
I think that takes you kind of out of the energy of the song as well. It's a bit weird. And I think it really becomes. Are they in the same semi as Malta? Because I just think the performances are the polar
Um,
opposites. Because Malta goes all
I
out
think
with
they
the.
might
I think they might be as
wait.
well.
They
Malta's
close
first
the
and
semi.
Luxembourg last, right?
Yeah, in the first semi.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think like just the performance, like if there's any justice in my world, people should look at Malta and Luxembourg and just realize that wow, Malta does everything that Luxembourg wants to do. I think.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Astron says that unfortunately, Tali was the only person in the national final that doesn't speak Luxembourgish.
Okay. Well, may,
Well,
maybe we'll
Bashar
get.
Murad learned Icelandic for the national final, so like,
Oh, he
hey,
doesn't speak it. I thought he was
no,
Icelandic. Oh.
no, he I think he spent like a year, the last year or two in Iceland
Hmm.
for study, but like Icelandic is obviously not a language that you can learn in a year or two.
Well, I wouldn't put myself through learning it, and I would probably already understand some of it from. I have a head start, and I would still not learn it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
imagine starting from Arabic. But apparently he did a good job phonetically. So
Spending a lot of time with Hatari, I guess, can help him out.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me just put my.
Yeah. I'll move on in the meantime. I guess Moldova's next, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yep, it is. Did you see this one?
No,
No, of course not.
fast
How
answer.
long were you away? Like 30 minutes? Or
I think so. Maybe
no?
like 2030,
Hmm.
something around those lines.
Well, Moldova's obviously like at the very bottom of the barrel of in the odds. However, one thing that should never be discredited is Moldova's
Moldova.
is Moldova. Yeah, exactly. Is Moldova like their chances of qualifying are always pretty high because televote only mainly. They usually have televote support. They usually know how to stage. I think the stagings that they always bring are great, and also diaspora. I guess. I mean, there's obviously less of it now. No Romania, no Russia, whatnot.
Portugal has a bunch of Moldovans.
See, there's something. I mean, I would never count out Moldova, but obviously this is probably not their strongest chance of making it. But still,
Yeah,
do we see a possibility of Moldova making it from what we've seen so far?
I mean there always is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, Moldova, they already have a concept
Yep.
for the staging. You know, like with
Do you think
the
they're gonna stick to
women in
that?
the like clap. I don't know. Would they really like recreate something entirely new?
I think they need to because I don't think it's interesting enough,
Mhm.
or they need to develop it a lot.
Did Santi actually leave the bar? I'll have you know, I wasn't at the bar. I was outside
Hmm.
helping someone who was very drunk. And then, like, the place where you could get drinks was in the concert hall. There was like a little island where you could get drinks.
Yeah.
So you can get
Speaking of
drinks and
Moldova,
watch
you
the
know.
songs at the same time. Moldova, alcohol, same thing, right?
Hmm.
I wish Alex, Moldovan Romanian friend, was in this chat to hear this.
I have no idea what he thinks of this song. I've not heard
Me
from
neither.
him.
I didn't ask him.
No. But
But
Grandma says
basically,
that Moldova was great vocally. It was basically like in the national final, except she was alone. And I wonder if she actually knows how to play the violin because it looked suspicious. Surely she knows how to play it. Like I mean, she had a
in
violin.
2007,
Yeah, she had a
she did.
violin-based song in
Yeah,
2007, and that you don't forget how to play the violin in 17 years.
but the drinks were extremely overpriced.
Obviously, obviously. All right. Well,
But
what
I
do you
didn't
make of
pick them.
Moldova as a whole, though? Do you like the song or not?
I actually like it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has. I mean, it has an identity, right?
Yeah.
Like it has something to it. It's not. What? When was the last time Moldova didn't qualify? Was it Stay?
Yeah. 2019,
Because
right?
see that was incredibly generic and
The only identity they had there
had
was the
nothing.
sand art.
Yeah, and they stole that from Ukraine in
Yes.
2011. So what identity is that?
Yeah.
But I think Moldova could have a concept behind them
Mm.
with that string segment can be something really cool,
Mm.
and the little like I don't know if I should call it operatic, but you know the high note
Mm-hmm.
melody towards the end
Yeah. It's a bit more
that
stylistic.
can be something.
Yeah.
And also I do really like the little electronic kind of sound.
Me too.
Um, in the moment she goes like right in the middle, and then it kind of distorts a little.
Yep.
And I feel like that's something that's done that I have heard in like Romanian pop and
Mm.
Moldovan pop, like that kind of bouncing around with string and electronic sounds.
Yep.
So I think there's definitely something in there. They just have to like work it out and clear it out a bit and find a concept that works for people, and then maybe we'll get some votes.
Yep.
Right now, I think it's more likely to not qualify than qualify, but it's Moldova.
It's Moldova.
We never know.
Yeah. Exactly like Alipan says, it can become. Can he asks the question? Can it become big on the Eurovision stage? Because I think that will be the deal breaker, honestly. Like if they can
Yeah.
develop their idea enough, it could absolutely be convincing. Sure, it didn't
Mhm.
work for Stay, but I think that this song is far superior to Stay. Far, far, far. There's so much more interesting things in this one, I think. And people say that it's very uninteresting. I think I've seen a lot of people say, but I don't feel that. I think that it actually has an identity to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
gonna be interesting
appreciate it a
to.
lot.
Yeah, me too. It's not really a favorite of mine, but I'm looking forward to see how it's gonna develop.
Would you say it's in the middle of your ranking?
I would say it's above the middle in my ranking. Mm. Mm. As I
For me,
said,
it's below the
this isn't
middle.
really my year in Eurovision, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, let's see what's next. Poland. This is actually okay. This one I'm interested in. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
good. Okay, thank you. I was like, maybe Poland was early on as well, but this one's interesting because
No,
I
no.
have no idea what she's like. Like she feels like a character to me. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, she feels like
I-
yeah. But anyway,
See, mhm.
I've grown to really just enjoy this song. Like the more I hear it, the more every time I listen to it, I'm like, I really enjoy this. I never seek it out, but every time I hear it, I'm like, I like this. So how was it to see it live, and how did you get any contact with her? Like, is she a person?
I mean, I'm sure she is,
Okay, yeah.
but it's, but I know exactly what you mean. It's like so like I'm autistic and I do my thesis. Well, I'm gonna do my thesis on autism specifically, and there's a lot of like facial expression and the
Mm-hmm.
vibes she's giving
Mm-hmm.
of that,
Okay.
which are or like a deer in the headlights kind of look,
Yeah, yeah.
if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
what I think is really endearing. Yes, I am holding a Pokemon. I actually have
It's
two of them.
Lapras,
I'm like,
isn't it?
and Shaman and my Pikachu cup.
Great.
Anyway,
Yeah. About Luna,
but
how
there
is she
was a
as a
lot of
performer though?
excitement.
Yeah, because people didn't know
I
what to
don't.
expect, or
No, but like people were jumping up and really enjoying it, and I don't have that much. I didn't hear that much of her on vocals because I
hmm
was like, especially if I was like, I'm the one who built it. I'm the one who built it. I can imagine like people were jumping
yeah,
at
yeah.
that point.
Did you get any like?
And
Was she though like as a performer? Was she engaging, or was she just kind of like a
seemed like it.
seemed like it? Okay, yeah.
hmm
hmm
But I feel like it's very easy for to please a Spanish crowd.
Well, if you have a song that they like, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a big issue.
yeah.
But no, I really enjoy that song. I have do you say seeked it out?
hmm
So it's not soak, that definitely not.
Sought
No, but I
out.
have got a there you go, thank
There
you.
you go.
I have sought it out
hmm
to go back and listen to it. I think it's really, Poland does what Denmark wishes it could do.
yeah. Yes.
And then
Uh,
like it's a very light-hearted and just enjoyable, catchy pop.
hmm
But Poland doesn't take itself too seriously. It doesn't
mm.
try and make itself a grandiose thing that it's not really, and it's very honest and direct, and it doesn't feel pretentious to me. And I hope they don't overstage it
Yeah.
because
I
it
love
is a
how
simple song. It's an enjoyable song.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's simple, it's accessible. I also love how maybe Toipa thought that we were done slating Denmark, but here it comes again.
No.
We always have a reason to talk about Denmark. But yeah, it's interesting to see that actually like in Spain the crowd was actually connecting with it. I think that's a really good sign.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and that it has some of that kind of accessible, catchy quality to it. I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do with it. Poland is building the tower Denmark wishes they could.
Have
Oh,
you seen that video that's like the tower by Luna, but Poland staging, and it's just like
no. But I
30 seconds
guess,
of the clip with just like lightning and
yeah, I
fire and
can
like
imagine.
kaleidoscope and reverted and distorted, like sped up for a second and then slowed down and reverb.
Yeah,
It's like,
Poland affecting calming, like we
yeah.
say. Yeah. We'll see what they're going to do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 2 years in a row now that they've just added the most ridiculous things on the screen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And they qualified both years after
they
years
did.
of
Quite
non-qualifying, so that's
convincingly
what's
as well.
scary.
Quite convincingly.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Obviously, Poland has some diaspora as well that could absolutely help them out. Like,
Yeah,
we
I
can
think
never
Poland's a
discredit that.
guaranteed qualifier.
What?
Unless like she completely crashes live and
Yeah. If it
whatever.
doesn't
But
sound
other than
good, then
that,
yeah.
I think she's making it.
Yeah, I hope so. Let's see what's next. Portugal. Well, she can sing. We know that already. How was the? I mean, I don't really know. Like, how much do the Spanish audience usually get behind Portugal at these events?
A lot.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to the jury votes, the Spanish jury blanks Portugal.
Jealousy, I would say.
Apparently, like this is a whole drama in like Junior Eurovision and Eurovision, where it's like you blanked us here, but you blanked us there. Anyway,
All right. Well, how
no,
was the
Portugal
reception to
was
this, though?
really good.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
she was amazing.
And
I
people were
mean,
really connecting with it, or
well, kind of. We were talking at the start of the stream about how during ballads, like people, well,
talk.
during songs in general, but particularly ballads, people would talk and get distracted. But now, when she started like getting out the bay notes, people it was like, okay, all of you shut up and watch this.
Yeah, yeah. They knew
She,
the selling
yeah,
moment of the song. Like we need to be here for this.
uh-huh.
Yeah. I think
Well,
that
not
that kind
even
of
because it was before that she was
yeah.
already like grasping people back in.
Yeah. Okay. I think that that kind of dynamic that song has really demands that of an audience. Like you need to actually be quiet and listen to every single section of the song to really grasp its actual impact.
And if you aren't doing it, then she will force you.
She will force you to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. The
And
way
there's also a wavy quality to this one too.
All right. Do we
Well,
feel like this one? Do we feel like it will qualify? Because it's obviously quite on
oh
the
yeah,
border in the odds.
oh yeah, well,
Yeah. I
yeah,
hope so. I hope so.
trust me.
I think it also got quite.
There's Luxembourg in the semi now.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Luxembourg could take its spot, you know?
No, but Luxembourg is like a quarter Portuguese.
Well, yeah, but I mean, 112 isn't enough to qualify. Look at Greece every year. Or last year, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, you heard the song.
I've heard the song. It's not what they say, that's for sure. All right.
Santi song the day wavy, but no, but like the ahinda, ahinda, like the
It's
dun,
very
dun, dun.
smooth, very. Mm.
And then like she brings out. I mean, like I know it's Portugal, it's Senhora do Mar, like the sailing metaphor, but it really is like there's one boat in the middle of like a sea with waves, and like even with the dancer, she does that kind of thing, and then she, like the way she yells, like suddenly the storm clears and the sun shines. I mean, I think they can really do a big thing with a stage.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I
I
feel
have high
like I'm
expectations.
excited to see so many of the songs, but
Hmm.
like I don't feel like there's any that I'm not excited. Like obviously, I'm not excited to see what Sweden's song is gonna look like because it's just gonna look like what it looked like in Melody Festival. But
What about
um,
Finland?
no, I'm not excited about
What
that.
about Denmark?
I'm not excited about that either. I'm honestly more excited about Iceland than both of those.
Mm.
Maybe Iceland will embrace the meme factor like Poland did last year, and that could could make it interesting. Denmark is not embracing the meme factor, or do you think they will? Maybe they'll hire the sand
What's
art.
the meme factor?
Maybe they will hire the sand artist. That's hire me up, Denmark. You're what do you call it,
You
broadcaster.
think you think
I got the
Saba
idea.
will just go sing with like fistfuls of sand that you could periodically like just let
Well,
go?
either that or they just take the woman from Ukraine. You know, hey,
Same
you haven't
one.
been in Eurovision now for a while. We have a song about sand. Why not? Why not come here? Help us out.
My
Get
God.
us a few points. I don't know. All right, what's left? We have San Marino, who's obviously going to be big in Spain, right? Or maybe people didn't.
Banger.
A banger.
Absolute
Okay.
banger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
People in Spain, I
I
guess they
love
were
it.
pretty excited about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
sure.
there's also the thing where in Spain, like the whole 2000s emo rock phase never went out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we saw that
Like it's
in
mhm.
Benidorm Fest this year, of course, with
Yeah.
Agoni, right?
Um, Angie.
Oh wait, Agoni was
Angie. Agony was the year before, and
that
that was not
was
at all
Quiero
emo
Arder,
rock.
was it?
Yeah, your
Okay, the
favorite.
Seki and Soy song.
Yeah,
I'm bad with names.
Angie.
Sorry, Angie.
Angie.
Okay, Angie. Sorry. Ugh,
Hmm.
embarrassing. But yeah,
And like even before that, obviously Megara participated the year
yeah,
before, and there's an appetite for this kind of song in Spain, and I really love specifically the part in how do you call it 1111, where they have this sort of like flamenco rock
yeah. That's
mixed
obviously
in.
the
I
standout
think
part.
that
The
I think
instrumental
that's
break at the end.
genius.
Yeah, I agree. That's the
Absolutely love
part that
that
every
bit.
time just gets me like, wow, I really like this. Then the rest of the
Hmm.
song is not really up my alley, but that part always just floors me because it sounds great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the rest of the song is still up my alley because
Mm-hmm.
I like this genre. I mean,
Yeah.
I like this kind of rock. I think it has a really good hook. It's very memorable.
Mm.
The lyrics are really cool. She has a lot of attitude with them.
Mm.
We know they're good live. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't think San Marino is qualifying because,
They need Flo Rida to do that, or Serhat.
well, yeah, they need like the at least at 1 millionaire or two on stage
Yeah.
to make it. And Megata are not millionaires,
But
but
obviously, Spain will
yeah,
try their best in helping them out, I guess. There'll probably be
well,
some points from the
eh,
Spanish televote.
for sure.
For sure.
Will that be enough?
Probably not. We'll see. But at least
But I'm
they
so
were
happy they
loved
get to go.
at the
Yeah.
pre-party. That's nice. Hmm. Why San Marino
San
has to
Marino
work
has to work
extra
hard.
hard just to qualify? I just don't
Well,
enjoy that.
most
Yeah,
people don't know San Marino is a country that exists.
yeah, I guess. But I mean, these countries always fight an uphill battle. It's the same with Malta, really. Well, it's gonna be interesting to see how Luxembourg's gonna deal with all of that. Like if people will consider Luxembourg another one of those, but
Well,
Luxembourg
at
still
least they
has,
closed the semi.
Netherlands and Belgium and France and whatnot. But Malta really
Yeah,
has no one, and San Marino has, well, Italy, I guess. Do Italy vote for San Marino? I don't know.
sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, it's a bit tricky. All right, what's next? Serbia. Oh, Serbia's got 4.5 stars on Eurovision World. That's kind of nice. Nice to see. How was Serbia?
Very similar to Portugal and the
Mm.
reception, where it hit.
Yep.
Like I can tell you definitely hit. Uh, People were loving it quite a
Mm.
lot. I mean, I loved it already. I like it more than Portugal as a
Yep.
song.
Me too.
I think it's probably is it the let me remember in my head. I think it's my favorite ballad this year,
Oh yeah, you're not a fan of
which
France?
there
Nope.
which there aren't a lot of ballads this year anyway to compete with it, but I think it's the perfect um, it has the perfect progression,
Yep.
at
Yep.
least for me. Like it does all the things that I wanted to do. It has like some nice vocal and instrument fusion
Mm.
thing going on. The theme about the flower blooming after war, etc., is really beautiful. And her voice has a really sharp is the word I'm coming up with, but sharp is not the right word. Maybe bright.
Yep. Yep.
Like you can tell it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas has a bit more of a raspy quality,
Yep.
which is also a very good thing in its own right. I think they both work really well with their respective songs.
Mm-hmm.
But for Serbia, there's a very good match between the way it's sung and the song itself.
Yeah. I think the vocal in
Mm-hmm.
Serbia really elevates the song more. Maybe like Portugal is
Yeah.
kind of a blend into the song, but it fits the whole
Mm-hmm.
instrumentation and overall flow of the song. While Serbia's is like the vocal actually becomes this elevated, as you say, bright part on top of it. It's like constantly flying on top of the track as a whole, and that just pushes it a little bit higher, I guess.
It's
And
like if
I
Billie
agree with
Eilish decided to start singing loudly,
singing loudly.
I
Um,
guess,
no,
for lack of a better term.
yeah, no, but it's certainly really pleasant to listen to. I find, and something that I've really loved about it from the first time really is the opening of the song, which I think just has this. Again, we're in maybe not wavy, but
Atmospheric,
it's a sway in the song.
misty,
It's misty.
misty,
No, but I think the
uh-huh.
whole
Mystical.
mist. I feel though like the flow of the song is very kind of sway like it's moving very clearly from side to side in a very we have a
Rocking a baby,
yes, exactly. What do you call this motion?
rocking.
Do you call it rocking? That feels
Yeah,
okay, fine.
I think
uh
so, right? Like
sure.
a rocking chair is one where you do like
So
this.
in the future I
And
will,
then it also has like the little music box sounds,
yeah, it
like a
does, yeah,
child's music box.
yeah.
So
People are
no, I
saying
think
I should
that,
call
that
it
might have been what it's called.
mesmeric.
Isn't it mesmerizing?
Mesmeric.
Is
You,
this
I,
something you said in the previous stream?
yes, this is a running gag on the community that I used the word mesmeric once, and people were like, "That's not a word," and I'm like, "It is a word," and now
Yeah,
everything I say is mesmeric apparently.
yeah, it is a word. It's like the new player in the Croatian national football team.
The what? I didn't get that. Anyway,
A player on the Croatian team, Mesmeric.
sounds very much. Uh, okay, we got a very adult
So,
person in the
yes, I
chat
can
right
tell.
now. We're not paying any attention to you. You're an absolute disgrace to the planet. Leave immediately. We're moving on to Slovenia,
Ah,
who sent Veronica.
yeah.
Yeah, this is
By
obviously
rating.
also like obviously we haven't seen this one live up until this point, right?
I think not. Yeah. I mean, we
Yeah.
know Raven live from previous
Yes,
years.
from international final, of course. But what about this
Yeah,
one? Because this isn't really what
she did
she's.
great.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's not very
I mean,
similar to what I
people
remember
liked
from the
her.
national final, but
No, I remember she had Chaos, where she didn't sing that much.
oh yeah,
It
yeah,
was mostly she says a word and then saying like 40 different pots and pans just fall from the
yeah. It was
cupboards.
kind of like this when drops, electronic drops, was kind of
Yeah.
the big thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But no, I mean, I have an issue with Veronica where I don't really connect to it.
yeah.
Like I get what it's going for. It's just I'm not personally catching it. But the impression I got in there was that she did quite good,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah. I don't.
Apparently, she performed in Dora.
Okay. Yeah. Um, I honestly don't think that this song is very memorable on its own. I think that she needs to elevate
Hmm.
it to make it really connect with audiences. But I'm not.
Hmm.
I'm not doubting the fact that she probably will elevate it. And
And
again,
qualify.
similar to Ireland, I feel like they need to kind of create a world to this performance, and that is what's gonna
Yeah.
leave an impression with people.
But the music video has a bit of an idea
I think so
on
too.
that
Yeah,
already.
just developed it.
Not nearly as developed as Ireland's, for example, but
There could be something in there.
there's something.
Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely, absolutely.
And I'm sure Raven would know how to make something out of it. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know at all like what the lyrics say, what the song is about, or who Veronica is, or whatever. But
there's probably a point to all of it.
yeah,
I'd
there's
say
something in
there's
there.
something in there.
Yeah.
Um, obviously, Spain is probably.
Um,
Oh my God, there's so many. So how everyone went here, didn't they? And I have
like
work in the
25,
morning.
yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, how was Spain received in Spain? I wonder. We don't even need to talk
Take
about
a
it, do we?
guess.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, we saw it at Benidorm Fest. People were
Hmm.
going crazy about it, and that's why it won, really. I mean, people love it in
Yeah.
Spain. Yeah. What should we say about it? Do you have something you want to share about it, or?
Have you read the lyrics translations?
No.
Do you want me to share some of them?
No.
Okay, we're keeping the stream child friendly. No, but what I will tell you about though is one amazing reference. So if you've watched the music video, there's a moment where she has like a glass of wine and she just throws it down,
Mm-hmm.
and she's wearing this red dress with her hair like this, etc. So am I really gonna forget the name? Manuela something. Wait.
I am
Uh,
indeed waiting.
Manuela Trasolares,
Sounds
who
great.
is, I was going to say was, but she's still alive,
Mm-hmm.
um, who is an opera singer and also trans,
Mm-hmm.
and became very famous in Spain after, I think, in late 90s on a TV program.
Yep.
Like, it was this whole, like, she was going to be there to sing, and there was this whole, like, well, I'm not going to sing with this kind of monster. Like, look at this plastic surgery. That's a man in a dress,
Okay.
etc.
Okay.
And then eventually she gets really tired of all this stuff and she has a big rant and then she grabs a wine glass and she throws it. And then she tells the other woman and kind of like, take your glass and throw it as well. Like, we're done with these idiots.
Okay.
And so this song, Farra, is a tribute to that sort of attitude to like, stop telling me like how I look or what I should do or whatever the hell. Just leave me alone.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And I will embrace whatever I am.
Hmm.
And obviously in a room where yeah, probably like almost everyone in that room was somewhere in the alphabet mafia, like LGBTQIA plus,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and obviously that message is going to resonate a lot.
Will it resonate with people outside of Spain though? That's the thing.
No,
No.
absolutely not. It's
No.
it's not going to. It's and the vocals are terrible, and it's going to crash and burn and get a bad result. And Spanish will be salty about it.
Okay.
But but I love it,
That's
and I don't
very
care.
just very
Yeah,
no
but you
no
know that's
no.
gonna happen.
Yeah, but I just I wanted to see how you were gonna express that because
No, it's gonna come like 23rd or something.
that would be optimistic. I think.
Yeah,
I'm guessing 26th, but
could be.
yeah.
But I don't care.
You're
Yeah,
just
yeah,
happy they
was
sent it.
robbed. Absolutely. Yeah, it's ASMR over a dance beat. Yeah, but I like that. Oh, someone's
Oh, this
writing
is.
something funny.
I mean, it's kind of.
See, and this is very topical because just now when we're talking about like people coming in and telling you how to act or not and criticizing you and whatever,
Mm,
it's like, yeah, I'm a fag, so what?
it's
Who
the timing.
cares?
Um,
Exactly.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Um,
San Pedro was nice. Like his song was nice.
I love
But
San
I
Pedro,
mean, I thought it was a really pretty bolero song, and I wouldn't mind if we sent something like that in the future.
but not this year. You
Yeah,
were
not
all out
this
for
year.
Zona this
Farra
year.
was
Yeah.
my favorite.
Yep. All right.
Mhm.
And we also talked, me and Santi, about Benidorm Fest because I was intrigued to hear his opinions. He didn't watch it live, was it? I think you said.
I think I missed one of the
Yeah.
semis, but yes, I did watch it live. I
But
mean, I wasn't in the arena
no,
on
no,
the
no.
screen.
But
Yeah.
we talked about it a little bit afterwards because I was like, "You
Hmm.
surely you've heard the songs from Benidorm Fest, so we can talk about them." And
Yeah,
I had a little bit of like a relief when you said that you really enjoyed El Temps, just like I did, because I
that's a
thought it was
beautiful song.
so um, unfairly treated in its semifinal. I was like, that's the one when I felt like I saw it. I was like, people have to appreciate that, and most of it did. It was so close, so close. But I just felt like I needed the comfort from hearing that you liked it as well,
Yes,
because usually me and
incredibly
Santi
wrapped.
do not align in preference. So,
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
yeah, yeah. So that's
But
really.
you know which song we both loved and that it does remind me of? Ciao by Malo in
Oh
France.
yes, nice
I
shout
mean,
for
just
the
because
six
curly
years
hair on a
ago.
piano. Yeah.
6 years ago was that, and
But
we still remember it, of
uh-huh.
course. Yeah, that's a
That, that,
throwback to
that, that,
everyone.
that's saying something about how rare it is when we really agree.
No, it's
Why
not.
does the
It's not that
demoscopic
rare.
vote hate Catalan? Well,
Okay, let's get into this. Here we go.
Spanish history.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not getting into this,
No.
but it's gonna be a tough time for a song in Catalan to represent Spain.
Yep.
That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we talked a lot. I was live streaming basically when Benidorm Fest was happening, and I
Mhm,
never really understood this whole
mhm.
demoscopic vote. And I just got tired
Yeah,
from trying to understand it. So we're moving on from that.
and don't try it. It's
No,
just a jury of people that aren't musical professionals.
I can instead focus on what I know, and that is Sweden's song in
Mhm,
Eurovision this year and how that one was picked. Because that one was picked because basically it had the odds favorite of like 75% chance of winning and nothing else was even close. For some reason, I don't really know why, but we have our song, which is called
mhm.
Unforgettable. Is the song
And they're like
unforgettable,
half as old as you.
Santi? They're not half as old as I am. They're like, well, they're
10.
considerably younger. I can say that much. Okay, is the song unforgettable, Santi?
No,
Is the performance unforgettable, Santi?
neither.
Were they unforgettable at the Madrid pre-party?
I don't know. Well, people were paying attention. They also did Air, which I think was better
Oh, they got
than
to do.
Unforgettable.
They perform several songs. Do everyone?
Yeah, I
Does
mean,
everyone do that?
Hera Björk, all the ones who had another entry performed another song.
Oh,
And maybe Moldova did and I missed it, but I wasn't there to hear
yeah.
it. We
But
also had Margaret Berger, who did I Feel You My Love and Oblivion, and that.
mm-hmm. but
Those were great. Mhm.
but
Toipa, you are not getting Norway slander because that's my winner. Anyway, we go on.
well, now no one has to watch your video. Well going there, Santi. You just lowered your own view numbers. Um,
Ah,
but
all the
I
money on your
completely
video.
agree with you that Air was so superior to Unforgettable. But we obviously shouldn't have sent Air because we sent Tattoo, so you know. But I think Unforgettable is obviously gonna like. I'm so happy that Sweden has drawn first in the running order in the final. I think that's just perfect because
Mhm.
I always felt like we're never gonna have Sweden like get a bad slot in the running order or open a final or anything like
Mm.
that.
It's almost like having a Swedish head of direction and like half the team being Swedish kind of ended up favoring Sweden in some way or another, no?
No, surely
No.
not.
Never. And it's not like Sweden draws first in running order, and this is the first year where you can vote before all songs have passed.
Hmm.
That's a coincidence. It's also hosted in Sweden,
Okay. Anyway,
but
I'm glad it's the opener. I think
that's a
that.
coincidence.
Okay. Anyway, I'm glad that it's the opener. Um,
Yeah, me too.
how was the reception in Madrid to them though? Were they liked?
They were liked,
Yep.
yeah. Spain generally, contrary to popular belief, enjoys Swedish entries
Mm.
quite a bit.
How honored we should be. Um, Obviously, if they performed Air as well, can you let me know? Like, was the reception the same for both songs, or were people enjoying Air more or Unforgettable more?
Uh, well, I people seem to be enjoying Air more,
Mm,
but maybe that's tainted by the fact that I was enjoying Air more.
potentially.
But no, Unforgettable to me is just very. I don't want to say very forgettable because that's not the right term.
Mm,
It doesn't do enough. I mean,
yep, I get that.
it's not really being interesting, and also it always weirds me out how they're talking about a girl who's unforgettable and blah blah blah, and obviously the song, like, they didn't write it with a personal story. It was
No, no, no.
probably like
The
handed to them
lyrics
with
are utter
random lyrics.
nonsense. Yeah.
But it's like if you have twins singing about one girl, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's
Sure.
something for me that's a bit weird in that. No,
Sure.
I mean, thruple, go for it, but maybe not within the family. I have no idea. It's just very.
Sure, that is a fair point. Obviously, when
And
it
also,
comes to Swedish songs, we should never pay attention to the lyrics because then we just
yeah,
lose a
then,
part of it.
but you should sing in Swedish then, because that way I don't understand them and I don't have to care about them.
We could do that.
Because I pay
However,
attention to lyrics.
yeah, I don't. But we could do that. But unfortunately,
However,
for
du pratar inte svensk.
Swedish is becoming the extinct language of Eurovision. Um, we'll see if we ever get
Yeah.
it back. Shall we continue with Switzerland because that's the. Why
And
does
that.
Switzerland only have 4 stars on Eurovision World?
1 star for every genre of the song, I guess.
So Italy only has 4 stars as well. So Austria and
Uh,
Switzerland have the same amount of stars on Eurovision World. Okay.
that feels very wrong.
I see how it is. I see how it is. Okay. So Switzerland, of course, this was the one that I really wanted to hear your thoughts on before we did the stream, because this was back when you actually went to the pre-party. And since the pre-party, Switzerland has overtaken Croatia at the top of the odds and is now leading comprehensively. Or well, not comprehensively, but it's quite far ahead. So I'm assuming
Rightfully so.
that they were pretty good.
Also, good luck on your exam, Alberto. So
But here I'm losing
now
hours of
that's
sleep
Switzerland.
watching two guys talking about it.
Yeah,
I'm losing sleep as well. I'm I'm getting up in 6 hours.
it's almost midnight.
It is, yeah. Good thing
But
we only
anyway,
have a
we
few
were talking
countries
about.
left. All right.
So first of all, Nemo's vocals. I mean, they were a little bit shaky at some points,
Mm-hmm.
but overall, with a song that's that difficult to sing
Yeah.
and in the conditions of a pre-party, they did more than a good job.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you the crowd loved it. The
Yep.
audience loved it. Me among them. It's really strange to like it. How do I say it? The code like really keeps up an energy
Yep.
the whole time.
Yeah. Start
That
to finish.
that's not necessarily it's not necessarily like building or like going up. I mean, it does build at the end, and obviously there's the big operatic moment, and then like there's a whole like orchestra. Uh, how do you say the trumpet instruments? What are they called again?
Brass,
Winds,
maybe.
brass. Yes, that's the word. There's like a big brass sound, and it gets so anthemic, and the drum and bass really riles you up. And I don't know how the hell anyone can think of this.
No, the process
Yeah.
behind the song is very impressive, I think. And just the overall composition, how everything manages to flow together. I think that's the main thing about it. Obviously, the vocals are incredibly impressive. From what I've seen in I actually did check out a few clips from this one. It's like the only
Yeah.
one I've watched, but they seem so. What do you say? Like engaging with the audience as well. Like
Yeah.
that should not be overlooked because the ability to sing the song flawlessly is impressive enough, but actually being able to
And then they were
entertain,
jumping around and like going up
yeah,
and
being
going
able to
here and going
entertain
there.
at the same time, that's the thing. And obviously I'm
Uh-huh.
super looking forward to seeing it at Eurovision because I've read this correctly, and Fredrik Benke Rydman is the name of the set designer, choreographer, director, whatever. And I have the list of the performances that he has choreographed before this, so I'll just list them
Okay.
here. There is Popular from Sweden in 2011. There are also a lot of Melody Festival and songs, so I'll just name them. Maybe you know them, maybe you don't. There is I Will Wait from Melody Festival in 2016, which looks great. There is Heroes, Sweden 2015, obviously won Eurovision. There is Shuffla from Melody Festival in 2018, Samir and Victor.
Banger. Yeah.
There is Maps from Ireland in 2021, which, wasn't executed well, but it had a cool concept. There is Hello from Melody Festival in 2019, which is one of my favorite performances as well.
I really loved that one actually.
Oh yeah, you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mohambi.
Yeah, exactly. Also, Dandi Dansa, like my top both song and performance. Love it. There is also, well, Jezebel. Apparently, I don't really care for that, but okay, fair enough.
I loved it.
Okay, good. Then there's Cha Cha Cha, which is obviously also quite the performance. And finally, Every Minute by Eric Sade from Melody Festival in 2021, which was this kind of doppelganger performance. You remember
Yeah.
that? You've seen it?
Yeah, it was really well done. I just hated the song.
Yeah, but this is only performance we're talking here, because he's going to be in charge of staging Switzerland this year.
Yeah.
And that
Well,
obviously speaks quite well, I think, for the potential here.
yeah. I mean, I don't know what to expect because first of all, with the song,
Mm-hmm.
I don't I don't know what to expect. Like one moment they're doing this kind of rap section, and the other moment they're yeah, whatever. You heard the song, you know what I mean.
I've heard the song a million times. I can't get
Me
enough of
too.
it, honestly. Yeah, I mean, I've talked
Yeah,
about it enough as well.
I would
Personally,
be amazed at this one. I not amazed in the sense surprised. I would just be ecstatic
but me too.
with this.
Me too.
It would be an amazing winner.
Can you imagine? We're in the same boat. Wow. What happened?
I mean, it's not my winner.
Okay,
It's my
no.
second,
Okay, fair enough.
but close enough.
Alipan cannot imagine Nemo's song alongside the iconic winners of Eurovision. You mean the iconic winners that are Toy and what other ones have we had? That
And also, like Kalush Orchestra, like Nemo already had the hat, so
yes,
you can
exactly.
already imagine.
He
it
already
now.
fits in with the crowd.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
sure, I don't really
not that
see Nemo
I mean,
next.
surely they have enough costumes in the wardrobe to like fit in
Yes.
anywhere.
Surely, I don't see Nemo maybe alongside Katrina and the Waves or Neve Kavanagh, but Eurovision is kind of, we have quite the more, I guess, extroverted, extravagant winners these days. I would say. I don't think Nemo would be out of place. Personally.
But see, people keep talking about Nemo's wardrobe. I actually really love it.
I haven't paid too much attention to it really,
Well,
except in the music
and
video, I guess. But
yeah, and then in the pre-party they showed up in this like pink thingy.
pink
But-
thingy.
Well, it's a dress, but it's also like in several layers, I guess. I don't know. I don't speak fashion, and I don't know if that is
Me
fashion.
neither.
But I really like the way they're just. I mean, first of all, you break the code with gender. Second of all, you break the code with genre. Third of all, you're breaking the code with clothes. Like, yeah, go for it. Why not?
It's very much a thing that does
Yeah.
not adhere to any rules whatsoever in
Exactly.
any regard, and that's
In a
kind of-
much better way than Finland does. May I add?
Yeah, well,
Because when we're talking about wardrobe, then Finland would need a bit of a wardrobe.
well, I won't judge. I'll just hate on Finland for the song and not their wardrobe. They can wear whatever they want. I wouldn't know. if it's good
Yeah,
or not
and
anyway.
also there's something that I think is not to be underestimated, because you do bring out that like the casual voters might not like that wardrobe and that clothing. I think there's something very special in the idea that like the song starts and you see them on stage like wearing some, and people think like, this is what is this? This
Mm-hmm.
looks ridiculous. And then at the end of the song, they're just like,
Yeah, they're invested
okay,
by
wow,
the end. Yeah,
okay, wow, they can sing,
yeah.
they can do it,
I hope for that kind of proper
and
whiplash effect for the
mhm.
audiences.
Yeah, and I think that can actually really benefit in the votes that are gotten after, because they're like,
Yeah,
you proved me wrong.
yeah. Well, we're both
Kind of like
optimistic.
Conchita had.
It's wonderful that we're actually in the same on the same
Yeah,
wavelength here.
I'm more surprised that your winner is first in the odds.
Yeah, that's true. That never really
Like
happens.
that's
But still, I mean, I
uh,
guess last year it happened, but last year there was only 2 songs, you
doesn't
know.
count.
Yeah, it doesn't count last year.
It's
Um,
Swedish.
Shall we? We have 2 songs left. I see. We have
Oh
Ukraine,
no.
which I have
Yeah.
to say, first when I heard Ukraine, I was really into it, and the more I've heard it, the less into it I get. I don't know if you feel similarly or how you feel about it, but please share.
For me, it's been pretty much a constant.
And what is that
I mean,
constant?
I like it. It's
Okay.
not anything amazing,
Mhm.
and there's some parts where it feels a bit like still we're on the same wave.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah,
please
for
continue.
Ukraine, there's some parts that feel like a little bit incohesive, or like
Mm,
they can be worked better.
mm,
And they also don't seem to have that much chemistry on stage. I mean, they make it work,
mm.
but there's a bit of a
I think the performance is rather weak, honestly. It's not that interesting.
yeah, it's a bit like a very background,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. And but I do like the song. I like the stuff that they do with the like bit of chanting moments and a bit of strings and like
Mm.
going very low and woo, and then like I'm not a fan of the rap section.
Oh, I am. I feel like that's the
And
only real
okay.
part that makes the song stand out, honestly. Like the thing with me is that I really love the atmosphere of it. I think that
Hmm.
would always work for me. But
Hmm.
what I feel the song is that it's too constant. It's too much of the same thing throughout its entire
Ah.
runtime. It never really develops. It doesn't show any dynamics. It doesn't hold back and it doesn't expand. It's just kind of one note throughout the whole thing, excluding the rap part, I guess, because that brings in a new voice to it.
Yeah.
But overall, the flow of the song just feels very much kind of the same thing throughout, I think. And that's probably what's
Mm.
gotten me a bit tired of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can understand that totally. I also don't like how they're saying about Mother Teresa, who was not exactly a kind person,
Well,
uh,
you're reading too much
despite what is
into it.
commonly
Just
believed.
enjoy the music.
Well, it's a title and it's the chorus, so it's a little hard to ignore it. Forgive me,
Sure.
but no, I get what you mean with the rap, like adding something to it.
Mm,
I don't really like what it adds, but like I get the need for something in there. It's
yeah.
just that like if you like to break it up, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. I'm not writing the song. I don't have the pretension of doing that.
But you would have added something
But,
else.
well, I would have asked for something else to be
Yeah.
added
Yep.
rather,
And the
or
reception
like maybe the
in
rap could be done in a different way.
yeah, and the reception in Madrid, I guess, probably pretty positive considering. I mean, Ukrainian
Yeah.
artists getting there. I mean, that alone is
Mm-hmm.
just amazing, really. Um, but overall, like the excitement or
Excitement might not be the right word, but there was definitely support. I mean,
yeah,
there was some like people don't speak Ukrainian, so nobody knew the lyrics until like it was like Mama Teresa, and then people
yeah,
were
that's the
yelling.
only thing they can
But
sing along.
and like apparently there's a line of it that's in English, and I found that out that night.
Afterwards.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
which I didn't understand that it was in English.
Oh well.
But yeah, I mean, I like the song. It's one of the weaker entries from Ukraine, but that's because Ukraine is one of the strongest countries
Yeah, agree.
ever. This is still in my top half of songs.
Hmm.
I think just barely.
Did Jerry Hale also
Mhm.
sing "When God Shut the Door," or that was?
No,
Oh,
I wish.
I wish so too. I think that's like has everything that I wanted this song to have. I
Mm.
think.
Jerry also has a song called Kupala, which I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if you heard it,
No.
but it's a really good song.
Did you sing that?
No,
They
I
only
wish
they
also.
only
I wish also because it's better than God Shut the Door in my opinion, but
they
I'll
only
send it to
sang
you.
this one, or did they?
Yeah, only
Yeah.
this one.
Okay. All right. Hmm. All right.
Let's pretend that it's referring to a different Teresa. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Sure. Why not? Let's take the last one. UK. Dizzy. Did it make you dizzy?
Well, not me. I didn't drink enough for
Oh yeah. Oh, oh.
that.
Okay, but
No, but
honestly, our expectations is that he's pretty good, right?
he sang King as well,
I
and
know.
yeah.
Oh, he sang it there.
Mm-hmm.
Knows how to please a crowd, then, I guess.
Duh. I
Yeah,
mean, everyone was kind of expecting it, so if he
yeah,
didn't, it would have been a scandal.
yeah. People would
But
have been
no,
disappointed if he didn't.
yeah, Ollie can sing, Ollie can perform it,
Mm,
and Dizzy, I think, is. I mean, it took a little bit to grow on me.
mm.
Maybe because I expected something like King, like a bit more of a instant radio hit,
Yeah,
and Dizzy is more of a
it's more subtle, I
uh,
think.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I think it really fits thematically.
Hmm.
I mean, the song is, if you're making a song called Dizzy, then that is the kind of melody you're going to get in there.
Yeah.
And the bells, I love bells.
Yeah. They
Just
add
put
character.
bells in a song and I'm gonna like it. Yeah,
Yeah, but it adds
they give it a
character.
lot of personality.
Mm. Yeah, I agreed.
And I'm not connecting to Dizzy that much, like on an emotional level or whatever.
No.
But I am recognizing that it's really nicely made. It's very smooth
Yeah,
in what
agreed.
it does.
I think it's very well written. Quite
I think
cleverly done so as
juries
well.
should give it quite a bit of love.
I think so too. I could absolutely see them being back in the top 10 with the jurors this year. But if the televote support is there, I'm very skeptical. Like, people might not honestly know who he is, even though he's
Yeah,
famous.
probably not.
But I don't think they will, unless their
Yeah.
commentator in their homeland says like, "Oh, maybe you've heard King," and then people will be like, "No, I don't know what that is." They
And then
need
he
to
goes like
hear
da da
it.
da da da
Yeah,
da
they
da
need.
da da.
He should have put in a little Easter egg in Dizzy.
A sample.
Yes,
Oh.
sampling King in there.
In the
Just-
postcards.
Yes.
In the postcard,
Ah.
maybe.
Give him that idea. I think he needs to
Yeah.
play on his name a bit there, or not his
No
name,
giant
but his
props.
previous. What do you say? Previous achievements.
Yeah. Okay. What's a prop that could make something dizzy? Like, you know those playground wheels with
Uh-huh.
like metal bars on there that like some kids will go on there and other kids will be running with it in their hands
Yeah,
to make
yeah,
it
yeah.
spin. Yeah, just have that on stage and he's singing the whole time, like hanging out from there.
Well, I mean, you don't need to have kids spinning the thing. I mean,
Well,
look
no-
at Norway's performance
no,
this
'cause
year with the spinning platform.
True. We're
Yeah.
gonna talk about Norway after this.
Okay, we need to talk about Norway. Norway didn't
Yeah,
perform
we do.
here. Interestingly,
Yes, they did.
they're not on the list.
Yeah, because they weren't there in person. They were supposed to come and then they didn't, and you can
Uh-huh.
imagine how disappointed I was.
Sure. Okay. I guess that's the only one left we have to talk about then, because I wasn't planning on us talking
Yeah.
about the songs that weren't there, but sure. We'll
Like
just-
Greece. Yeah.
No, but we're obviously gonna do another stream where we talk predictions later down the line, and then we can talk about Greece. Only thing I can say about Greece right now is that Greece is what Greece should be.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And Greece is what Greece is.
Yes, that too. And I'm just so happy that Greece is not what Greece was last year. Because that was not Greece.
Andy, I do. Secret Combination is still a banger. And The Mandalorian, yes. It took me a moment to recognize, but Boyan from Joker Out,
Wait.
on top of singing Carpe Diem, he sang Samo Ljubizna, which is like Slovenia 2002.
Yeah,
The one with like the
Cult
air
classic.
hostesses drag.
we know.
That was amazing. And also, apparently, like, Boyan speaks Spanish.
Ooh. Well,
Like, he was hosting half the show. And I was like, okay, where did this come from? I was impressed.
but I was a bit late
Anyway.
here, but regarding your comments about Greece 2008, I just want to do that. Perfect. sweet sound of silence. All right, let's invite him back.
Wow.
Welcome back, Santi. You want to talk about
Oh,
Norway?
yeah. So I took a moment to get back into the stream because there was some kind of secret combination that I had to type in.
You hear that? Right.
My thoughts on "Make My Day." I forgot what song was that.
It's Macedonia 2005 with the.
Oh, that one.
Layla.
Yeah. Well, my thoughts on that.
You don't need to answer that. It's just Rodmore who
No,
has,
no
who has
thoughts.
some
Head
kind of
empty.
personal crush on that song. I don't know. Let's just talk about Norway, and then I can head to bed and actually wake
Curious
up
song.
tomorrow morning for work.
Yeah, Norway, my winner.
Yep. Continue.
One of my favorite songs that I've discovered through Eurovision ever.
And why is that?
It's absolutely incredible from start to finish, where I have a very specific liking for songs that take like old myths and folk tales and turn them into songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you know the story of this one.
Well, no.
So I'm gonna tell it.
Mm-hmm.
So any Norwegians in the chat, if one of you are there, one of you is there.
Don't think so.
I believe the story is there's this daughter in a peasant family that's going to be married off to some noble because the family is starving and they need money in some way, but she doesn't want to go marry the nobles. And so she escapes to the forest and joins a pack of wolves because she was wearing a wolf skin that her mother had given her.
Okay.
And then at some point, I think there's her father and brother who are out hunting to get her because, like, how dare she escape her family obligations, etc. And with the pack of wolves, she kills them in order to stay in the wild. One of the lines in Eurovision is that she drank her brother's blood. And it's a fucking intense story of the brutality of nature versus civilization and order, and someone choosing to go back into that brutality because of the constraints of the supposedly evolved civilization, etc. And even turning into violence and turning against who you were and like abandoning your humanity and going into that pack of wolves. And then you get into the way she sings, which is halfway between like kulning, if you know what that is. Yeah. Like it's a herding call that people in Scandinavia would use.
Not
like
Scandinavia.
Call the
up north, very north Scandinavia.
That's still Scandinavia.
Yeah, but
because
don't imagine us like don't imagine people down in Malmö or Gothenburg to be very.
Obviously not.
Useful.
No, I'm talking like New Mail. But basically, because of all the valleys and mountains, you would need to use like high frequencies that would drop suddenly and go back up in order for the sound to reverberate and all the cows would come back. And so the way she sings, the girl from Ngote, she combines that with some sort of like wolf howl kind of, like the chorus, they're not words, they're vocalizations. And I think the way she goes from the story where they're telling the story with they have some like instruments, like Norwegian instruments, and it's a bit more of a calm and restrained thing. And then in the chorus, that's her presentation of like the wild call. There's no more words anymore. It's just like yelling, and then the instruments go crazy. The lights go crazy. She starts spinning. Like,
careful.
No, but you know, the single best shot from the year is when she grabs the microphone and she's like leaning and she was like, yeah, you know what I mean.
Thank you for the demonstration. I know exactly what you mean. Yes.
Yeah.
And I love how the light show goes crazy as well on top of it. That's kind of the. Yeah, we don't need the whole demonstration. I don't think that was a very successful attempt, but thank you. Even worse. Thank you.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I get that
single frame, that single shot, that would have been enough to be my winner. You could have given me those 5 seconds, and I would have been like, "That's my winner. I don't need to hear
Yeah,
the rest."
I think when I first saw it at
Yeah.
MGP was like when like we I did a watch along for this one as well. Like we saw it live together on stream, and I think if I remember myself correctly, I said when that was over, like that's the winner. Like there's no way nothing is beating that because of just that instant impression you get from that performance. Even though it wasn't my personal favorite from the selection, I still really liked it and I really loved it, honestly. But it just felt like that's really the one that leaves an impression on you completely, and it will leave an impression on almost everyone because people will just see that and will be like, it actually had this visual identity while also being as you say the brutality of it, and you can't really ignore it. I think that's really the main thing, and that's what I think will happen in May as well when you see it at Eurovision. It's good that it's 15th in the running order. I think because people will just kind of be leading up to that point, and then something comes with a proper whiplash effect like that.
Yeah. I'm confident that it'll qualify at least.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I don't have high hopes in the final.
Qualifying
but
100%.
Yeah.
No doubt.
You know what it really reminded me of when you were talking about that sudden impression? It really reminded me of Voilà. Because when I was watching the French national final with my family, and like, we were talking about everything. I am not performing no roles. When we were talking during every song, and Voilà came on, and like from start to finish, we're just like
complete silence. Yeah.
And then it ended, and we're like,
yeah, I can
spontaneously
imagine.
clapped.
Yeah, I can imagine. I felt like that when I heard it and saw it first as well. Especially when I've rewatched Eurovision 20, what year was that? 21, right? It was 2021. Yeah.
Voilà.
When I've rewatched 2021, that's like the one somewhere I always feel like, okay, France is up next. Everyone shut up. I need to just take this in. That's kind of my feeling.
It's even better because like the first line of Voilà is just, look at me.
Yeah.
Regardez-moi.
Yeah.
You are obeying.
I am, absolutely. Yeah, but I can see that kind of comparison. Like that's the same feeling you get. Like it's that.
Have you heard?
No, yeah, keep going. Yep.
Have you heard the full 4 minutes and a half version of Eurovision?
I think I've heard it once, but I never really paid too much attention to it. Like I've struggled with
headphones.
I've struggled with finding time to really get through extended versions and whatnot, and really give them their full attention. I always struggle in managing to do that, but I'll try and do better. I'll give it a listen this week.
I'll remind you of that.
Yeah.
And also, we have Norwegian back. Wait, it might be Écoutez-moi. I think it is Écoutez-moi, which is even better. It's listen to me. Not just look at me.
Yeah, Regardez-moi is in the second verse, isn't it?
Yeah, because he says Regardez-moi.
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 Yeah, exactly.
She says look at me, or at least what's left of me.
And we of course know who wrote Voilà as well.
Yeah, her.
And?
So,
Igit, my man. Igit.
Yes, I was going to say Slimane, but obviously it's Igit. Sorry, I forgot his name.
Jerusalem.
Yes.
Oh, that's also back to 2018. That's like the year of France.
Yeah. And we mentioned Malo and Chow earlier.
Yeah.
Why are we getting to 20? ESC ADHD, I have that actually. But
Fruit seems to have ESC ADHD. If you can't focus on extended versions of songs, same thing happens with me. Well,
but how many metal songs are there that last 3 minutes or less?
I mean, there is one example though of a song that I can't listen to the Eurovision version of, and that's Non mi avete fatto niente. I need the 3-minute 40 of that. There's no way I'm listening to the Eurovision version. No. That's like the one, I'd say. Was Fire More ever shortened down? It wasn't, right?
I don't believe so, no?
No, it's still 3:30. Yeah. I can't imagine that being shorted down either. I need that in full.
But yeah, they also had to rewrite some of the lyrics because obviously they took the lyrics.
I saw that, yeah.
Kind of like a Shum scenario.
I haven't heard the new lyrics though, I think. Has anyone?
You have, because that's the one they had in Norse Melody Grand Prix.
Really?
That was the new lyrics version already. Yeah.
Are you sure? Because I thought I read about
Yes.
this after Melody Grand Prix.
Maybe it was reported after, but as far
I'm-
as I know, the shortened version,
I'm skeptical
because there's
towards
the
that.
original. Okay.
But okay.
Well, listen to all the versions. Go
yeah,
for
yeah,
it.
yeah, fine.
They're all great.
All right.
Norwegian sounds so good.
You know what
Why
sounds
are
even
Scan-
better?
No, not Swedish. Norwegian sounds better. And also,
we wouldn't know how
I wouldn't
Swedish
know how it
sounds.
sounds like. We would because
Nope.
of Finland in 2012, which was my winner. Still is my winner.
You'd be happy to know that we had a 2012 watch along this week, and Finland finished 9th, I believe. Very high.
I'm really happy.
Yeah, you could have helped out.
Why-
You know, you don't appear on any of the watch alongs. I'll give you. I'll give you shame for that.
Yeah, I have things to do. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we should wrap it up here because I definitely need to head to bed. And thank you to everyone who stuck around. Like, we've had 50 plus viewers throughout the whole thing, and at times we've had 90 something at most. And then I started
poor
talking about
them.
how much I hated Finland this year, and it dropped to 70. So, yeah. But I think that's been everything. Thank you, Santi, for joining me today.
Thank you for inviting me.
No,
Tack så
well,
mycket.
you kind of invited yourself, in all honesty.
Yeah, but
you
did
were
I
like,
get
when are we
refused?
streaming? And I'm like, oh yeah. But we're gonna do more streams going forward when we have rehearsals, I think, because last year we did
Yeah.
predictions after rehearsals. So I guess that's the
And-
plan this year as well.
Yeah. We have to have something to make fun of each other after.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, I won the prediction competition last year.
Yes,
Yes.
I do remember that.
I can't believe that. I have I need to maintain that kind of bragging rights. We'll see if I can.
Good luck.
Thank you. Not good luck to you because I want to win.
You're more competitive than sportsmen. Like,
I'm really not that competitive. Only against you, I guess. It's maybe the thing.
I feel special.
Oh yeah.
So you have
so
something
special.
to prove to me in particular.
Exactly. More just bragging rights on YouTube that everyone should know that the one person I drag to being part of my streams is because I can beat him at predictions.
That's the only I lost on purpose because otherwise he would not invite me back.
Yeah, pretend I didn't hear that. Just intentionally doing bad predictions. Iceland winning this year. All right.
Oh my god! In Iceland winning this year when Hedabir goes on the Hedas tour and sells millions and millions of tickets.
Well, we'll see. All right.
Who knows?
Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you to everyone as well. And yeah,
Thank
good
you,
night.
everyone.
Yeah.
Buena suerte con el examen, Alberto. Sé que lo vas a probar.
Good night, everyone.